For one of Perth's features, the Fruit and Veg Stakes, Group 1 over 1,800 metres. Your caller, Darren McCauley.
John Clate takes Turmeric into the gates. We're waiting on about 4. Craig Staples wasting no time on True Steel, and he allowed him to stride out to the riverside of the course, and the big chestnut high balling at the 1,000, led by 7 lengths Dr. John. 2 to Deadeye Dick third, 1.5 Mr. Sandgroper fourth, Dedicated Miss over on the inside from Blinded. 1.5 lengths to the Victorian Capitan, parked outside Modem. Then Finito being bustled along on the fence from Free at Last and Lay Tear. 1.5 lengths to Turmeric, Blevo and Prince of Vassac 3 deep at the back of the field, but True Steel still rolling. 600 metres to travel. True Steel by 5 lengths over the 3-year-old Dr. John. A little more than a length. Deadeye Dick off the bit. Mr. Sandgroper's being asked for his effort by King, and then 1.5 lengths to Blinded. The leader's starting to tiptoe coming up to the home corner. Dedicated Miss next, and now Harvey's getting busy on Modem. They're followed by Free at Last, Lay Tear. Forget about Capitan, but True Steel still with a nice lead. 250 from home, 4 lengths Mr. Sandgroper. Modem is starting to dig deep now. He's rattling with Blinded. Modem's coming at True Steel. He's got him. And here's Free at Last jumping out of the ground, coming with a brilliant run. It's Modem, Free at Last, Modem. Modem won at a neck, Free at Last. True Steel held on for third. Close up, Blinded Mr. Sandgroper. Lay Tear next in from Prince of Vassac. Dedicated Miss Finito, Deadeye Dick. Turmeric was wider out. Then came Blevo. Doster copped a hit over the head from the whip of Paul Harvey at the 50-metre mark. And she's got within a neck of him on the line.
Newcomer, this filly that is there. It is in the all serious on the outside, was back at the tail of the field. Have a look at go swoosh over the closing stages at Rose Hill.
Jockey trying to weave through, and here comes Nemesine right down the outside below the 200. Nemesine moves up strongly, hands and heels, and races clear. It looks very smart. Put up 3 lengths on Faslamar, Parsicatera, but this is a one-act affair. Nemesine down to the line wins it by 5 to 6 lengths. Getting up for second was Faslamar from Made For Me and Parsicatera.
Well, now you may say that the company wasn't so hot, but that's just the way that it did it, Ron.
Oh, it was a breathtaking win. Look, the opposition was very ordinary. Don't get anything wrong there. But this is a great sort of filly. So she should be. She cost $400,000 as a yearling. Look, credit goes out to court a few nice horses, and this will show because they've come out and won an early 2-year-old race with a very, very good filly.
This has been compared to a Lingy now.
Oh, don't get carried away.
Well, it is. I mean, you know...
Richard, it's before Christmas.
I know that. I know that. But and I'm not comparing it, but there are some who are. And I tell you what, the turn of foot is very Lingy-ish, the way she was able to sit at the back. And when she was let go, just look at this, the acceleration. It's all over now.
I nearly fainted. I took the short price, and Darren's necked it out the barrier and dragged it back to last behind all these slow things. I said, what are you doing? Halfway down the straight, I'm saying, what a ride.
Yeah. Well, she's named after a Greek goddess. She's already joint favourite for the Golden Slipper. She looks good, Elf.
Certainly does look very, very good indeed, but...
The world returns to take on Silent Witness yet again, and Silent Witness, regular jockey Felix Coetzee is the 2-to-1 on favourite. The Clive Britton trained Vartan by Douglas White for the John Hawke stable. Number 11, Abel Print.
Yes, they're moving up well, Darren, as you cross up. Thank you, Andrew. And the world watching the 4 big races, but there's no doubt this is the one that everybody is watching. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever he does, he's running for history, for a dual victory in the Cathay Pacific Hong Kong Sprint. Felvalon did it a few years back. Well, this guy is rated the best in the world. Silent Witness has jumped very well. Pivotal Point away quite nicely. Multi-Dandy out wide has begun very well. Also, VAR trying to get just behind him as Pivotal Point leads up Silent Witness. Multi-Dandy, Abel Prince right there. Osterhays in the middle. VAR just off them. Kelston Lido about a length off the lead. Pivotal Point the inside. Yell about 3 off the front runners. Next, Sunningdale, Cape of Good Hope. In between them, trying to pick up is Sunningdale, the Tatling, and fading back Last Royal Millennium. It's Multi-Dandy on the outside of Natural Blitz. They're the leaders at the quarter pole. Next then came on the outside Abel Prince. VAR trying to pick up right there. Multi-Dandy. Silent Witness goes under Natural Blitz. Natural Blitz runs for his life, but the great champion Silent Witness darts to the front. This is all over. He's toying with them. This is unbelievable. Silent Witness 2 in front. Cape of Good Hope, Natural Blitz. Able Prince trying hard. The world champion wins in a canter. He's too good, Silent Witness. Cape of Good Hope second, Natural Blitz in a photo for third. With also on the outside, Able Prince. Right there, Royal Millennium, Sunningdale. Next in came Battle One. Last of all, the best there is, dare I say it, maybe the best we've ever seen. An amazing training performance. Let's think about this for a moment. Never beaten. A horse that we all look at, and every time we see him run, we think he's looking for further. Tony Cruz has contained this champion racehorse to 1,000 metres, had him spot on every time, and he has bolted in. Cape of Good Hope. Imagine what he would have done if this horse on screen was not about. He's run second to him so many times. Ears up, doing it easily, a champion. Rarely in my life have I got the opportunity to use the words, but it is fitting. He simply is unbelievable. Silent Witness, 13 out of 13. Tony Cruz, Felix Kutzi. Oh, you'd love to own one like this. He's our horse. He belongs to them, but he is our horse. He belongs to all of us.
The world champion.
The world champion. He's never raced outside of Hong Kong. How can you call him the world champion? He hasn't taken anyone on yet. Only the ones that have had to travel there to match him.
Look at this horse.
He's a great horse.
Look at him. He's not even concentrating.
He's a super horse, but you can't be the world champion till you've been somewhere else in the world.
They love him.
I know they love him.
He's a champion.
I'm not a narc.
We talk about champions over the years that have gone by. They never ever got out of Australia either.
Well, we didn't call him the world champion.
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh, champion.
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh,
we've had
rubbish.
raps on him a mile long.
No one has ever called any horse here the world champion.
Hang on.
It is a superstar.
David Raffaele's called Sunline the champion mare.
Yep, there you go.
So, you know,
Well, at least
we
she
called
went
her
to
a champion.
Dubai and ran well. This horse has been nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, wildly?
Yeah, well, he's the champion.
No, sorry, Michael.
Look, he can be the world champion, but he's got to go somewhere and prove it.
He will.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he does.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
And I hope he does it with great guts, though, too.
Yell, Fields of Omar...
Outsprinted.
Outsprinted.
And...
The world record for successive wins in top company is held by Cigar at 16, so there's a good chance that Silent Witness could give that a nudge and even better it.
Exactly right.
Rebo retired with 16 wins undefeated.
Undefeated, isn't
And he could match that for sure.
And the feature event from Doomben this afternoon, the NCF Doomben Stakes, listed over $13.50, and bonuses taking prize money over the 200,000 mark. Three Devil, who's drawn the outside at 22, Showbiz Kid at 15, Western Brace and Karamazoo both 23. So go down to Dersey M, the 10 at 14. 13 Proudly Aggro at 10, 15 Drunken Joke $17, Matani number 20 at $9.50, Scratched Golden Fox in the upcoming event, it's at $9.20, Drunken Joker is the favourite at $6.90 over Matani at $8.10, Consular at $9.10 and Sir Breakfast at $9.20, standing by for correct
set. Racing, great start out except for Dersey M, which was slow to move at the start, and Consular, they're the last two. Massign was the first to go. Drunken Joker began quickly outside him, and Sir Breakfast went up to make a line of three. Devils Racing fourth, and Western Braces going forward in a big hurry. Matani's not far away from Alfonso, and Proudly Aggro's on the fence. And then Celtic Trial. Oh, we've lost one. There's one gone coming down the side. Stormcat Academy's a long way back, and so is Raw Instinct. And Dersey M is at the tail of the field. And I think we may have lost, what have we lost? I can't see it. I'm not sure. I can't see the saddlecloth. Coming with a bend, 500 to go. So Breakfast led Western Brace. Massign third, followed by Devil, Proudly Aggro, Matani to the outside from Alfonso. Top mark, Drunken Joker, and Showbiz Kids trying to get through, and Karamazoo's coming down the outside. So Breakfast at the 200. Proudly Aggro's after him, and then Western Brace and Top Mark. Amex late, but Proudly Aggro, he hit the front 100 to go. He got away from Top Mark and Sir Breakfast, and Proudly Aggro beat Top Mark. So Breakfast third, Showbiz Kid fourth. The next time, Western Brace, Matani, Amex, Karamazoo, Treasure the Queeler, Alfonso, Massign. Then came home in the race is Drunken Joker.
About Itch over Top Mark and Sir Breakfast third, and the Tab Limited first four. 13, 18 Sam Miguel Villiers Handicap, and Courts in Session is the 100 rater over This Man Should, I Extreme, and also Johnny Reb. So 6 over 1, 5 and 7. Main chances, and the favourite way is 6 Courts in Session just at 4.20. For Samsung a Song, the pre-post favourite at 4.60. 5 I Extreme at $9.30. And best of the others, you've got $11 for 11 Mag Sayer. So a big field of 18 to do battle in the San Miguel Villiers, a time-honoured event. Courts in Session is the favourite. The top weighted
slow. If they have good speed, she'll run very well. And
Motivate Derby Parade a little slow to go, and Courts in Session straight to the early lead from Fiery Venture and Inspire. Windbreakers going up into 4th position, followed closely by Johnny Reb. Sung a Song, Chrysler's Duel and Motivators Absolute. They work their way past the 600 in the Villiers and Courts in Session. The heavily backed favourite a length, Fiery Venture, 3 Derby Parade. Windbreaker, Inspire, Johnny Reb, Sir Dex and Basil at the show, and then Brits Best and 2 Salgado, and the others are headed by Dante's Paradiso. Into the straight now, Courts in Session, the leader. On top of the rise is a half Fiery Venture, about 4 lengths to Sir Dex coming into the picture, followed then by I Extreme likewise, and a length to St Basil. They race inside the 200, Courts in Session, Fiery Venture, but here's I Extreme, and wide out on the track, Dante's Paradiso, but it's I Extreme in front, and I Extreme wins the Villiers from Dante's Paradiso and Sedex. Courts in Session, Salgado, Fiery Venture, Samsung a Song at the show, St Basil, and then This Man Should, Brits Best, followed home by Motivate the Course.
It's listed, and the 8th event over the 1350. 5 I Extreme taking out the San Miguel Villiers at 6.20, 2.40. Darren Beedman and John Hawkes. Dante's
there, I Extreme.
Course record.
John, yeah,
Falonte held that record.
It did too for quite a long time.
Years and years.
But the thing...
Turn Point hasn't moved them barriers forward.
No. The way it alters its head down the straight, it still wants to lay out and do things wrong. Look, it's a good galloper though. Don't underestimate it. It's very, very good.
Do you know that track was only pristine out to 15 metres?
Yeah.
And I reckon he got outside the 15 metres.
Into the bit that you haven't fixed yet. Okay, great stuff. Nevertheless, I don't like to be critical, but
this is it. We're set. Gates crash open, they're off in the Mercedes Derby, and he hopped away well from barrier 2, Cheval de Troy. Going with them Cheshire in the early stages, and right through as well as they settle down Dan Star. Moving forward out a bit wider on the track, Able Standard. There's plenty of early speed on in the early stages. Is now the first to move out wide. Here comes the Raj, and Cheval de Troy's going with them as well as they start to turn it on now. Here they come around the corner, 450 to go in the Merc Derby. They hit for home, and Cheval de Troy. Cheval de Troy ranged up to take the lead. Coming after him out wide ahead now is the Raj, and battling away Jonathan Josh, and behind them out wider and then is Cheval de Troy. Coming after them, Able Standard along the inside. Cheshire's battling on with that Tops, and here's Excellent down the outside. Cheval de Troy, Excellent ranged up on the outside. Oh, he is a superstar. Excellent at his third start wins the Mercedes Derby. Brilliant win. Second over, it's very close here. Mandela, King Johnny, what a run. Cheval de Troy and close up, that's Top. That's Tops. And behind these next, Cheshire, Able Standard, Cedar Manor, Jonathan Josh. Further away then as they went across the line was the Raj, then D Major. Back and behind them, King's Cape, then well back, and then Fiscal Madness. Also back with them, Dan Star, Barjou and Bling Bling. And Daddy Knows Best. It'll be the last one home in the Mercedes Derby. We have a potential superstar here. Excellent. Horses don't do this. Horses do not win the Derby at their third start. He gave them all a start. He was back with fourth last with 600 metres to go. And Mickey Coleman, the Michael Maroney, Andrew Scott Polish, they've done it again. They've doubled up from Cut the Cake last year, and they've got the prize, and he's just...
That afternoon, the Group 1 Railway Handicap over the 1,200 metres, due in 8 minutes from now, and G.I. Jane number 13 over 2 Recurring, 7 Dan Bird and 10 Value. So 13, 2, 7 and 10. Horses just arriving at the start, and Recurring number 1 at $6.80. Sedecrum the 3 at 9. Down 2, Not a Single Doubt for Lisa Crop, and there's $2.70 in favourite, and Getty Cat is at $7.90. Of the others, G.I. Jane at 23 and Devote at 22. So on the New South Wales board and also right across...
Gates open, they're off on the railway. Slow out G.I. Jane. First away, Pomp and Glory. Dan Bird's going after it, and right there also Scaredy Cat. Double RB works round, and going with it is Varloo in the early stages. On as expected by the 600 metres, and Dan Bird's made the lead. From Pomp and Glory, the outside, Varloo out in the cheap seats. And behind the leader, Scaredy Cat, then not a single doubt. Followed by Double RB, recurring is next. Then came Sir Declan getting off the rail. Further back, Wins Rules. Le Mans is well back with G.I. Jane and Boyce as they head for home. 300 metres to go. The leader is Dan Bird. Pomp and Glory going a big race from not a single doubt. Varloo's out wide. Sir Declan coming through and out wide. Recurring about to let down from G.I. Jane. Across the track now and Recurring. Look at Sir Declan dive through on the inside and out wide G.I. Jane. But it's Recurring in front. Recurring wins the railway. The goes to the Aussie second close here between the late finishing out wide G.I. Jane with Designer and Sir Declan in line with them as well. Close up and behind them, Devoted, followed over by Lamont, Varloo, then Infinity Railway Handicap, Recurring in the hands of Hayden Tinsley. Has taken
race 6, the Open Handicap, the Standish. Group 3 level over the 1200, Shannow's Image, 5 over 2 Chong Tong, 3 Broadband, 4 Green Machine, 5, 2, 3 and 4. Horses in the enclosure for the 6th event, Chong Tong the 2 at 360, 3 Broadband 730, Green Machine the 4 at 11, 6 Blessum at 12, 8 Confederate Kid at 11, Gunner Tom the 9 at 9.50 and Best of the Others number 11 Keeping the Faith at $19. Favourite way, Chong Tong at 360 for the Standish. Selections from Brian.
Number 1 on top here, super impressive. I stuck with it. Look, in the last couple of minutes, it has actually shifted out. It's still...
Short time ago, Oilside Broadband, Gunner Tom, Green Machine, and a super impressive having his last racetrack appearance. Let's cross to Brian Martin now for...
And they're ready and they're racing in the Standish. Jumped in a very good line too. One of the first out, Green Machine, super impressive down to the inside with Keeping the Faith and Shango's Image. Confederate Kid and Showing Speed, Chong Tong, and they're all tracking over towards the flat side from the outside. And the leaders here are Green Machine with Keeping the Faith, and further out Chong Tong. Shango's Image, super impressive the fence from Confederate Kid. Smart and Mighty further out. They're followed by Blessum. Savage Attack. Further back Broadband, followed by Kane Smitzer. Getting back is Gunner Tom second to last, and last of all Leone Chiara. 5.50 out onto the course proper, and Chong Tong and Green Machine the rail. A length and a half, Smart and Mighty, super impressive going for the run on the fence. Just held up now from Keeping the Faith, then Blessum. Shango's Image, Broadband, and further back then Gunner Tom. But going to the front is Chong Tong now from Blessum on the outside down at the 300 metre mark. Then super impressive getting out from Broadband. Chong Tong in front, Blessum on the outside. Broadband, super impressive, and Savage Attack. They're closing rapidly now. Blessum, super impressive up on the inside. Super impressive has driven through, and super impressive. He's got up to win the Standish from either Blessum, Broadband, Savage Attack, and Chong Tong just behind those from Leone Chiara, Shango's Image, Keeping the Faith, then Smart and Mighty, Green Machine knocked up from Leone Chiara, pulling up quickly with Gunner Tom, Confederate Kid, and Kane Smitzer. He's got up on the inside, super impressive. Won the race 2 years ago, ran third last year. And the judge calls for the photo. Super impressive from gate number 1, the top weight, driving up on the inside. And in a great charge to the line, he'll get the decision here. Super impressive to the Standish. Number 1 is in the frame. Number 1 is the winner. Terrific go for the minor placings. We've got Blessum, Broadband.
Impressive, what a way to go out. And super impressive. Same colours there as Super Impose, of course, related to that galloper as well. 9.63.30 has just won the Standish, and a terrific way to go up winning a Group 3, isn't it? Blessum second. It's very close for third there. Broadband and 3, 8,044.80. Now they're moving in well at Morford. Prize money, and it is a very, very good field. Consular, Celtic Trial, Top Mark, Showbiz Kid, 1.463. And here you've got Consular at 6.20, Raw Instinct and Showbiz Kid chances. 5.90 for Celtic Trial. Derziem at 7, Top Mark 13, Drunken Joker 5.60, Alfonso at 7.60. Some Support Little Punk, and the others all at long odds. Race 6 on the card. The Burnborough coming up in 13 minutes from now. And the favourite here, Celtic Trial.
Stand by for a start. Inside, Celtic Trial was one of the first to come out, and Alfonso began quickly. Yogi's Edition, top mark, well away. So was Chimbok and Little Punk in front of Drunken Joker. Showbiz Keat deep going to the first corner, followed by Raw Instinct. Liz Trippies 3 deep around Dursey M. Raw Instinct got flattened, and then Consular and Lang Parker's last. They're on the corner, 400 metres to go. Alfonso's first around the corner. He's a length and a quarter. Chimbok top mark. Celtic Trials now called upon, followed by Dursey M, Showbiz Kid, Drunken Joker, and Consular down the outside. Alfonso leads at the 200. Chimbok and Celtic Trials coming, so is Dursey M and Consular. Alfonso, Chimbok, Dursey M and Consular is absolutely flying. Dursey M's grabbed the lead in the shadows of the post, and Dursey M has won from a photo between Consular and Chimbok. Alfonso's in a photo for fourth with Celtic Trial from Showbiz Kid. The next time, Lang Park, Raw Instinct, followed by Little Punk, and then came Top Mark a long way back, Yogi's Edition, Snippety Snip.
Gasitas, Consular, Chimbok, $1,120. That trifecta. 3 runners in the mounting yard. Devil 420, 460. About Proudly Aggro, support for Sir Breakfast, drawn a little wide though. Down the bottom, Picardy Run is not without a chance. Tony Patillo now talks to Larry Olsen.
Tony,
Side began beautifully. Picardy Run and Proudly Aggro show good pace in the early stages, and there's plenty of pace from out wide. Coming across now into a good spot is Sir Breakfast, and towards the rear. Sir Breakfast had a soft run in front for Pope, leads the way by about a length on Mind Reader. Wyndham, all the outsiders are about to turn on the bend on the list as deeper out. Proudly Aggro putting himself into the picture. Devil is out in plenty of time, he's good enough. Omni Trader and Warrior Trader right down the outside, though it's a Sir Breakfast in front, 250 metres to go. Devil's after him. Sir Breakfast in front. Devil. And here's Picardy Run. Picardy Run is after Sir Breakfast. Sir Breakfast in front. Picardy Run moves up to him. Picardy Run and Sir Breakfast. They hit the line. Picardy Run. Picardy Run beats Sir Breakfast. Devil's run third. Contending, and I reckon he's run fourth. Then Storm Cat Academy behind those steps.
Breakfast and Devil. And the trifecta 14-3 and 100.
We're almost set to go. The Zabeel Classic Group 1. Favourite is St. Reams. It's the outside gates. Gates crash open, they're off and racing in the Group 1 Zabeel Classic, and St. Reams came out running. Millennium showing early speed. Look at Society Bow work across from his wide draw, and Leithen has had to kick St. Reams up on the inside of it to keep it out. Settling just in behind them is Distinctly Secret, nice and handy on its outside. Up on top of the rise, so there's a surprise. Society Bow has taken over, leads by 2 lengths, and Innes was keen to get off the rail with St. Reams, and that allowed Distinctly Secret through on the inside. A gap of 5 lengths away, Millennium. Have they gone too hard out in front? Back on the inside, both been ridden patiently at the back of the field. Down the side, 600 metres out in the Zabeel Classic and Society Bow. St. Reams on the outside of it. 1.5 away, Distinctly Secret third. 2 lengths away, Clazy now St. Jesse from Millennium. Then came Sent Home. Now the Jewel about to come wide with Bridie Bell, Penny Gem and Lashed well back. Down the stretch, 350 to go. St. Reams is just the leader from Society Bow. Distinctly Secret's coming after them, so is Millennium. They're all starting to arrive now. Look at Lashton behind them. Out wide, Bridie Bell and Penny Gem arriving late. They've got to St. Reams. Distinctly Secret's coming after now. St. Reams giving again on the inside. St. Reams, Distinctly Secret and Lash. St. Reams, he's got a heart as big as Texas, and he wins the Group 1 Zabeel Classic. They tried to take him on out in front, but he's fought on valiantly, and he's got the prize, St. Reams. I think he's beaten either Distinctly Secret or Lashed in the photo. Then and behind them was Society Bow. Penny Gem wasn't there far away. Further away next was the Jewel, then followed over out wider on the track next by Millennium. Then came St. Jesse, and next over as they went across the line would have been he would go straight to the front and lead all the way. He was clearly headed by Society Bow mid-range.
Similar in price. If anything, there's value about
over 5 all bar 1, 7 any suggestion and 1 Golden Fox. As we peruse the market for the 5th event, Hugh Bowman is the jockey of number 3, Doonan.
You good to see you at the Gold Coast today, and you've got a couple of very good rides coming up, including Doonan in this 3-year-old classic, drawn a little bit wide, but the horse tends to settle back in the field a bit. His run first up, he just didn't seem to show any pace that day, but today I think it's all the rage in front of this huge crowd on Magic Millions Day. The big 3-year-old classic is about to happen now. As
the gates open and they're off and racing. Road Again from barrier 2 was one of the first to go, but all bar one from the outside began brilliantly, scooted across, and he's 2.5 to 3 in front. Golden Fox is going into second position. Tippy Taka third, and Road Again is in a close fourth. And anyway, tipping the Velvet Cafe, Francais and Heathcote. All bar one slipped away on the corner, 400 to go. All bar one by 2 to Golden Fox. He's Road Again, pulled to the outside, then Tippy Taka, and then Junes and Dude and Kentucky Wildcat. All bar one at the 200, just in front of Golden Fox, Tippy Taka. Road Again's having a struggle at the moment, coming down the outside. Golden Fox, all bar one, Tippy Taka, and Road Again. Tippy Taka's grabbed the lead. Cyranote's jumping up out of the ground. Tippy Taka's in front. Tippy Taka has beaten Cyranote and Fine Silver third. Photo fourth. Junes, Road Again and Golden Fox, followed by Tipping the Velvet. Then Kentucky Wildcat, Doonan, followed then by Cafe Francais. Further back in the field then, we've got...
Well, there's Tony. He can train again, can't he? He certainly can. Tony, that was a terrific training performance. The horse obviously is pleased here in Brisbane and beautifully ridden.
Look, he's always had the talent, this fella, and I said to John a year and a bit ago, I said, we've got a serious horse here. And then the horse lost his way, and John thought I was a mug, of course, and you're only as good as your last winner. But the horse, since he was gelded, showed signs he was coming back. And
as Chris mentioned, is shouting beer to the public at the Gold Coast this afternoon. Wish we're all there. Tippy Taka, Corey Brown and 10 from the Gold Coast. On
top raider, it's $2 on the tote, and his owner, Damien Flower, is joining Chris.
Damien, you've been in this racing game for a long time as a punter, as an owner, and you've always wanted to have a champion racehorse, and there's every indication you've got one in Snitzel. You happy with him?
Yeah, actually, we're more than happy at the moment, Chris. Happy with his first run, his last 2 runs that he's come in. Probably couldn't be happier. He's done well since he's been...
They're double-figure odds, mind you, and of the rest there, Noodle Knight, Out of Point, Just the Star, around the same, perhaps the filly Merryweather. Should be a fabulous race. This Snitzel, odds-on favourite. He's been awesome in his 3 runs so far at Warwick Farm. Back when he won the Breeders' Plate in September, he went on to win that Strawberry Hill Slipper at Wyong in absolutely sensational fashion when he wasn't even wound up for the race. And then he absolutely smashed them there in the Slipper at Doomben when he won with such ease that...
The gates open and they're off and racing. Snitzel began brilliantly in the middle of the line. Boss is riding him for speed in the early part, but a couple want to go with him, including Merryweather, and the paces an absolute corker going around the first corner, and Elsa Meurs going, and they've trapped Snitzel a little bit deep. Ending up to the turn, Bradbury's Luck went up on the inside to join Elsa Meurs. They've given Snitzel no favours. He's 3 deep as they turn the corner. Just behind those has Sprung and Emmett Time getting to the outside. Oh, Snitzel made the corner badly. Bradbury's Luck is the leader from Elsa Meurs. Snitzel can't reach them at the moment. Sprung is in the clear. Emmett Time down the outside. Bradbury's Luck is still the leader. Emmett Time's under the roses and Snitzel's coming now. Bradbury's Luck is the leader. Emmett Time's run right off the track. Bradbury's Luck in front. They hit the line and it lured Bradbury's Luck or Emmett Time right out off the track. It's a photo third. Snitzel's in it with Elsa Meurs. Pilier got home with Roshini. Sprung a Noodle Knight behind them from Katsitas. The next Just the Star. Then how's that? Long way back. Oh, Emmett Time has finished on the outside fence and...
Dead heat for third, Snitzel and Elsa Meurs, and the race time 109.45. The Quadrella in New South Wales is
up again. Caulfield, the Group 3 Weight for Age Rubicon Stakes. 4th event, 6 Secateurs, a rating special. Over 1 Super Elegant, 3 Strike Line, 4 Sensational Spot. 6 a special, over 1, 3 and 4. Super Elegant, Kelvin Sanderson's riders the favourite at $2.30, in front of 6 Secateurs at $3.30 favourite, and there's Savage Attack just entering the yard now as we head to Alf Matthews.
She knuckled Strike Line. She began very poorly. She's last. Super Elegant on the other hand began well, and Secateurs shot away from an outside barrier, and at the 500 our Kavira got up on the inside a half length in front of Secateurs. 2 lengths away is Super Elegant, followed by Strike Line, Truly Wicked, almost a length further back Sensational Spot and Savage Attack. back. Coming around the home turn, now Kavira well away from the rail. They all avoid the inside. Secateurs goes up and again joins her. Super Elegant about to be called on now by Sanderson. Then Sensational Spot followed by Truly Wicked. Secateurs had a kick inside the 200. He's out by more than a length to Sensational Spot. Super Elegant battling away. Truly Elegant's coming now. He's lifting Super Elegant in a driving finish. Truly Wicked went with him. They hit it. Super's done it again. Super Elegant wanted a nose to Truly Wicked, I think. Photo third. Secateurs the inside and Sensational Spot. Then Savage Attack. Strike Line who missed the start. And our Kavira last in. Photo finish. I think Super Elegant might get it. Driving finish, a four-way go. His Great Desire has got him home by about a short head on the line.
6 the time. First fours, New South Wales, 1 7 4 and a 6. 1
there at
6 1
there at Caulfield. And Mark, what a wonderful horse. Adept in all goings. He has won left-handed and right-handed in grip company. And as we saw it yet again yesterday, a marvel first up from a spell.
He certainly is. Look, that's his third Rubiton Stakes in a row. Scalacci had won 2 as well as Super Elegant until yesterday. Kelvin Sanderson, the rider, he's only been here for 14 months. Of course, he does a lot of his riding for Tony Vazel. And when he did come over...
Shift out in the market a bit. He's still a little bit better value on the tote at the moment. We had Regal Roller open up relatively short. He shifted out nearly a full point. However, has been trimmed up very, very quickly, and he's just over. The feature, the Essendon Mazda Carline Stakes Group 2. That horse on screen, number 2, Regal Roller, is my top selection. In the last couple of minutes...
Here's Super Elegant. What a marvel. Greg Childs on board. Scored on flavour in this race in 98, Greg. Just the most genuine and honest sprinter around. Truly Wicked coming now. Strike Line jumped brilliantly. Truly Wicked a touch slow. And away very fast is Secateurs finding the lead early. Ruben goes up and attacks him. Strike Line retained the fence a length away. Super Elegant gets a beautiful run fourth and 2 lengths to Strike Line. Super Elegant fourth the outside and tracking him as Regal Roller. Next Truly Wicked, Skew with 1.5, then Tantat Secret and Confederate Kid. At the 600 metres, Secateurs a neck in front of Ruben. Super Elegant only a length away. Truly Wicked's going quickly around the outside of Regal Roller, who just got tightened up a bit there. He's off the steal. Strike Line's ahead of him along the rail, and they're followed by Skew with Tantat Secret and Confederate Kid. Around the turn, Secateurs from Ruben, but Super Elegant strode up to them brilliantly, and he's dashed to the lead now. Then Strike Line, and back behind them is Truly Wicked and Regal Roller. It's Super Elegant opening up. He put 2 lengths on Ruben. Strike Line lifts the outside, but it's Super Elegant clear, and he wins again. Super Elegant beats Strike Line by a length. Ruben has run out of his skin third, and then Truly Wicked, Regal Roller, he got stopped in his tracks. Behind them, Secateurs who weakened, Tantat Secret, Skew at the end, and last in, Confederate Kid. They just keep taking him on. He just keeps going out and winning races. $4.10 and $1.50. He's a little star, isn't he? Super Elegant, the winner. He was runner-up in this race last year to Vocabulary. And he's now come back. He won the Rubiton last time out, and he's gone with a beautiful ride by Greg Childs. He must have been giggling at the halfway when everything just fell.
Today is the Zetative, not a single doubt, and Watch Your Back are on top here from Tom. A few on the market, in fact, not too many of them not given some sort of a chance. The favourite, Not a Single Doubt, at $3.20 ahead of Tirade, Danehill Express and Shoot. Alf, Not a Single Doubt is favourite.
They're all in now. The Australian flag colours being carried by Not a Single Doubt. They're ready. Racing now. Not a Single Doubt, one of the first out. And down to the inside, Volatant a touch slow. Bolshe flies away from the outside barrier and will cross and lead them. Tirade goes up into second, and Shoot racing a little erratically at the end of the field. By the 800, Bolshe had the lead narrowly from Tirade going up to put pressure and head him now. Watch Your Back a length and a half away. Not a Single Doubt with the beautiful trailers fourth on the outside. Volatant is next, being trailed a half length away to Danehill Express. Old Trick is outside and Shoot 2 lengths away. To the turn again, Bolshe has the lead, a neck clear from Tirade. Tirade, watch your back. Not a single doubt coming out 4 wide. Volatant right behind them, and so is Danehill Express. They swing the corner now. Bolsey headed by Tirade. Watch your back goes on, and wider out. Not a single doubt comes with his run. He's about to hit the lead, but Danehill Express has got off his back, and Volatant searching for an out. It's Not a Single Doubt going for home. He drew a length in front of Danehill Express. Watch your back, and then Volatant. Not a single doubt in front. He'll be a bit too speedy for them. Not a single doubt by a length to Danehill Express. Volatant just held third from Old Trick out wide, I'd say. Photo there. Tirade, watch your back just behind them, followed by Shoot, and Bolsey weakened to run last.
And the winner by Reduced Choice out of Singles Bar, trained by Tony Vasil and ridden by Kieran Mack. Now, quick way through at Caulfield after the Zetative, 1, 3 and 8, the numbers, 1, 3.
Favourite. Now, the ratings at Randwick on the light fingers. And Group 2 for the 3-year-old fillies, very good field. Trevisan, the 100 on track, an easing favourite. Is 1 in a million, just in front of Trevisan. His light fingers Group 2 race should be a beauty. Let's head to Ian.
They're set. Racing, Commands Nothing bounced out in front. Trays of Odd out very, very well. So too was Miss Rainmaker, 1 in a million, not far away from. Down past the 650 they go. There's little between Commands Nothing on the outside and Miss Rainmaker. Third 2 lengths away is Trays of Odd, a length and a half, 1 in a million. Then Villa Bled, Burning Sands, and But I'm Serious as last as they round the home corner in the light fingers. Miss Rainmaker with the inside running, shading Commands Nothing. Trays of Odd a length away third. 1 in a million is bad. Bottled away from Villa Bled, Burning Sands, and But I'm Serious. I Can't Get Out. Beatman on the favourite, 1 in a million. It's gone back to last, and Trays of Odd accelerated. 150 to go. Trays of Odd a length and a half. But I'm Serious. 1 in a million finally seeing daylight. Will it be too late? It will. Trays of Odd holds 1 in a million, and Trays of Odd has beaten 1 in a million. How far should it have won by? Third, But I'm Serious from Burning Sands, I'd reckon, and then came Villa Bled, followed by another 5 away, Commands Nothing, and Miss Rainmaker was absolute. Stand by for play. Was beaten 1 in a million. How far should it have won by? Third, But I'm...
Ian Craig there. Yeah, matey, good on you. Yeah. Trays Avant, 1 in a million second, and But I'm Serious third. When that dashed away, that was turned out to be the winning break.
She's a very nice filly, Graham, and she trialled very well the other day. Her a bit faster time than Sparkle Life in a trial at Rose Hill the other day, and she'd done everything right since then. Even though she'd only had the one trial, she was fit and well and raced up to it.
Geez, he was unlucky on the second horse, 1 in a million. He was trying to follow you through and trying to get a split between the leading bunch of horses because he had the beautiful cosy run on the fence behind, but it never came, and Darren Beedman had to check back to almost last, and that just... There he is back there, third on the fence, looking for a way out, looking for a way to get through. He's trying to get out. No, can't get out there, so he's had to hook back behind the heels of that runner and across the heels of the entire field.
Had to get back to last.
Yeah, and he's had to come around the entire field with only 200 metres to go here, not even that. 100 there. There's the 100 marker just gone. Gee, he makes up some ground. Certainly beaten, but all honours with the winner. You can only win, can't you, Chris?
That's it, Rich, but I mean, he did get out the better part of the track, so he hit the line pretty strong.
You're still going on with this, aren't you?
They've been arguing with this
week. Grand Army, the 100 raider from Falkirk, Our Egyptian Rain, and Sportsman. 1, 3, 7 and 2. Should be a fantastic race, and should be a great battle of tactics too. The horses in the yard, and he's okay to ride my... the ambulance officers have had a look at him. He's okay to ride my...
Immediately, My Chinese King dropped out to last. Sportsman straight to the lead from Courts in Session. Racing him now, though, and settling Courts in Session. Quickly to the front from Sportsman, Our Chinese King. No change in the order as the expressway field runs down to the corner. Courts in Session by 4. Sportsman running second. Our Egyptian Rain a half length away on the outside. River to the Sea on the inside of Falkirk. Grand Army about to be wound up by Muntz. And 2 to My Chinese King. They're in the straight and over the rise. Courts in Session a couple clear on Our Egyptian Rain. Sportsman labouring, followed by Grand Army and Falkirk, both unwinding past the 200. Our Egyptian Rain given full ball by Nash Rawiller, raced up to Courts in Session, who won't surrender. Our Egyptian Rain and Courts in Session. Courts in Session fights back, and the roughie wins it. Courts in Session over Our Egyptian Rain and Grand Army. Falkirk, River to the Sea, My Chinese King, and Sportsman absolute. Courts in Session.
He's only had 19 starts now for 10 wins, and as I said, he's getting better.
session. It got right out to Peter Cruikshank, the owner. I know you'd be watching this morning. I hope you're sitting down. Our Egyptian Rain second, Grand Army third. Brian, I don't know what to make of our Egyptian Rain.
Well, look, if you didn't know the horse, you'd say, looking at that run, you say, oh, geez, it's just a gallop short, and it's the one to be on next time. But how many times do you see her do that? I mean, she's had so many seconds, and time again she does it. She went up to go past Courts in Session, looked like she was just going to go past it, and then the last 50 minutes...
I'll say it, she pulls up. There is no doubt in my mind this mare pulls up. She's run second so many times. She was going to go straight past Courts in Session at one stage there. She hangs in, gets her head on the side. She's got her ears laid flat back on her head, and all she wants to do is pull up here.
She's looking for a way out.
She is. She's looking at the last 50 metres. All she wants to do is just get the race over and done with. She's a great mare with very consistent until you put her in a dogfight, and then she doesn't want to be in it. And I'm sorry to say that about her, because I really like the mare and the owners and Graham Bigg.
Graham's done a terrific job.
He's done a terrific job. He's got her in beautiful condition every time she goes out, but there's nothing you can do about the way she races. This horse on the fence here, he is a fighter.
He is, isn't he?
He loves a dogfight.
Yeah. And I tell you what, just listening to Guy there, he's going to be very competitive in some of those wait-for-race races if they just get him to settle.
He can win.
There's the ratings with Dance Hero, Starcat, Eremine and Western Bow. The ratings there. Eremine's had a little support too, has a little bit there for Russian Charm, but getting unders on the tote at the moment. Now, horses are only just coming into the yard. Zach Purton rides one of the chances here, drawn a little wide, Eremine. Let's find out what Zach thinks about the chances. Zach in a race of many Chen for Russian Charm. It's firmed up. Now, Eagle Farm, we've got...
This is the Royal Sovereign. Gates are back and they're off, and Dance Hero jumped like a rocket. Settling down, Dance Hero making a beeline for the inside rail. Leads a length and a half, no doubt at all. Western Both. Dance Hero out on his own down by the 800 marker. He's 5, nearly 6 lengths on no doubt at all. Starcat a length away third. Then Outback Prince. Dance Hero in front coming to the corner. He's 5 lengths on his stablemate Starcat. Third, no doubt at all. And then Outback Prince and Western Bow. Dance Hero 4 or 5 away from the inside rail, and up the rise he comes. He's about 2 on Starcat, followed by No Doubt at All, and then Western Bow, Outback Prince, Russian Charm, Eremine and Uber. It's Dance Hero passing the 175. He's a length and a half on his stablemate Starcat. They're not getting near Dance Hero. Coming home late is Eremine, but Dance Hero back to his brilliant best. Dance Hero all the way in the Royal Sovereign to beat Eremine and Starcat. And then collate Russian Charm, Outback Prince, Uber, Avise, No Doubt at All, Jim Carew, and coming...
Where do you position up here? What have you told? Where do you position up here? What have you told?
Gay Waterhouse, big day for Gay. Chris Muntz aboard, Eremine second, Starcat third. Chris, how good was that?
It was very good, Graham. I mean, he basically dominated the race from the minute he left the barriers. He got to a lead, and he ran even sectionals, and he didn't go crazy, but he ran even sectionals, and he just was too strong for him at the finish.
I see you took him out to the centre of the track here.
I wanted to get out probably 5 and 6 wide. I thought that was a better place to be. But it was probably a little bit exaggerated with the way he was racing. But I did. Trezevant nearly stopped when she went back to the fence, but she was still lucky to win. Where'd the winner come from?
We'll argue about that later. Let's talk about this horse, all right? Here's a horse that... It must have felt different this time than last time in, because he's a different horse today. What do you reckon? What did you detect was different about him this prep as opposed to the last prep when he was disappointing?
The only real thing that I could detect with him, he was a lot more comfortable in himself. He was a lot happier in his...
Looked all right. At the top weight, I think he's a nice horse. He'll win a nice race. 1, 2, 8 and 11.
Thanks, Larry, and thanks, Northern City Finance. Now back at Flemington, $1 million race coming up. It's the English 2-year-old championship, the richest race here at Flemington today. And there's 2 main chances. They are Jiang, number 1, and also Paulini, number 10, trained by Kevin Moses, our top rater. And it's at $6.50 on the TAB, but a little bit shorter than that here at Flemington. Special package, and special package has also shifted out.
And Jiang jumped okay with Seduce Me. Noble Fly got a little tighten up soon after the start. Paulini began with a fly into the outside. Royal Robbery and Noble Fly are just near the 500-metre mark, looking to the grandstand side again here. And it's Paulini, the joint leader, with Saint Vesuvio, the widest runner from Royal Robbery, and Noble Flyer and Argaviro's last of those horses down the grandstand side. On the flat now, and Seduce Me at the 300 went up and took the lead from Express Fair. Call Me Lucky gone. Jiang is running on, and so is the Jonker. with 150 to go. The flat side had the lead. It's Seduce Me. Seduce Me at the 100, out by 2 lengths. The Jonker, the only dangerous, coming home hard. It's Seduce Me in front. The Jonker drives at it, made it close. The Jonker or Seduce Me, photo finish for $1 million. Just behind them third, either Express Fair the inside or Paulini, who's clearly the first one home on the grandstand side, but they've been beaten out there. It was ahead of Noble Flyer. Next was Truly a Royal down on the Suvio and Royal Robbery. Argaviro back towards the tail of the...
The on paces today. Yeah, well, if that's the case, well, we might be up there. We won't be far away.
Just, as I said, a very emotional day, having worked for Inglis's for years. Tell me...
Paid her dues to the horse industry in many, many roles, and I've known her for a very long time, and she's a very, very good horsewoman, so well done. Paul Good, he looked good in the saddle too.
Tell you what.
The promotion of yearling sales, and, you know, $1 million for these horses, there's something not right about it to me, but nevertheless, it's there to be won, and it was won, and well done, Miffy.
What did highlight is that a lot of those horses are going to struggle.
I think fine to win the big one here at one of the big ones in terms of prize money. It was the biggest, the English Championship. There's the ratings for the Vanity 1, 6, 7 and 2. The ratings are sticking with this top filly, the winner of the BRC Oaks. And here's Alf with holds the key to this race because he's the trainer of this star filly, Hollow Bullet. John, thanks for your time.
And the first to break the line was Ballet Society. Provence jumped okay, eases back. Let's see Hollow Bullet going back in the field in the early part as second last, and 7 off the leader at the 700 metres now. Ballet Society's been able to do it her own way in front, leading General's Dynasty a half length. 2.5 lengths away third, Provence on the inside of Twisted Heart, and then Ransom Claim with Hollow Bullet at the back of the field. They swing for home now, and Ballet Society at the 500 out by a length to General's Dynasty. Provence third, Twisted Heart next, and now Hollow Bullet eases out about 4 wide. She's in clear galloping room, spots the lead of 5 lengths. They come to the 300 metre mark now, and it's a Ballet Society with a nice lead, a handy break on them. Hollow Bullet has to wind up, but we know she can. She's coming with Twisted Heart and Ransom Claim. Ballet Society, 100 left to go. Hollow Bullet's in for the fight. She's getting there with every stride. It's Ballet Society, a neck in front. Hollow Bullet just dies on the run. Ballet Society by a head. Hollow Bullets run second. Twisted Heart 3 lengths away, might have grabbed the third from Ransom Claim. And then Provence and General's Dynasty. Great front running ride by Blake Shin. Gives him a treble. And Ballet Society, but she had to give away 3.5 kilos today. That wasn't the case when they were meeting in the spring, and it's certainly been a deciding factor.
That victory with Ballet Society, she has been unlucky and very consistent too. Hollow Bullet, well, I have to say, I thought there was some pilot error there yesterday. I thought getting back in a small field like that, you know, slowly run race, set her a big task with a big weight, but never mind, and Twisted Heart filling the...
Well, yeah, there probably wasn't a lot. Blake Shin's ride was very good. It's a horse. I totally agree that it was pilot error on Hollow Bullet. She was still very game in defeat.
What would you expect in a 7-horse field with no guaranteed pace in the race? What would you go out there expecting to happen? At some stage of that race, they're going to walk.
And where he drew, what was he going to do?
Well, from barrier 5,
yeah,
go forward.
Look.
No, I don't agree.
This horse is second up. She's got a long preparation ahead of her. What would you, if you owned her, would you say hunt her up to the lead?
You didn't have to hunt her. Just have to let her be there.
I disagree.
I disagree too. I thought this was a lovely ride by Blake Shin. It was a winning move. He rode this filly and fought her in a 1,000-metre race first up. I thought Hollow Bullet's performance was one of the best of her career.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. But, you know, the old adage, if you've got the top weight and a soft and a heavy, well, a slow track, don't start giving away big starts.
She's got a long way to go. Then you're going to teach her.
I think she's actually developed a little bit. Thought she's been prepared perfect.
Live at Flemington to bring you the Group 1 Lightning Stakes runners are at the barrier. There's Spark of Life. And
here's Olingi coming in. And the brilliant filly from gate number 5. They're nearly ready now. Fast Net Rock. He's going to be the last to get set. Racing. A linky jump reasonably down towards the inside. Recapitalised, got away well. Tiny Girl was slow to move. Spark of Life away brilliantly. So too General Baton and a Fast Net Rock near the outside. Settling into stride, it's Lalando down towards the inside rail, who spears away with a 3-length lead. Dane Shadow chases it down towards the flat rail ahead of Blur. Recapitalised, Savage Attack. Alingi getting cover early, and Tiny Girl last of that division. Spark of Life is leading the side out here, although Dane Shadow's taken charge and come across in front there with Cape of Good Hope. Just behind them, maybe McLaren and also General Baton with Fast Net Rock, the widest runner. They come to the 300. Lalando's got a big lead. He's out by 3 or 4 lengths now from Alingi giving chase. Spark of Life down the outside. And then came Fast Net Rock, who's unwinding his run at the 150-metre mark. And here comes Alingi now to get to the lead. Alingi in front. Fast Net Rock's after her. He's closing on the outside. They hit it a photo. Photo between Fast Net Rock. He might have got there. Alingi's close up on the inside. Third placing, Cape of Good Hope is handy with the Lalando in a photo finish, and Spark of Life. They're trailed by Tiny Girl, Blur, and just behind those, Dane Shadows, Savage Attack, and back behind those to finish in the race. At the head of the others was maybe McLaren, Recapitalised, General Baton. And Fast Net Rock has won it. Number 11. Fast Net Rock, ridden by Glenn Boss, trained by Paul Perry, has stormed wide on the course to win the Lightning Stakes in a photo finish. Alingi second, Nain and David Orton, 11, 13 and 1, and they've run 57.3. Fast Net Rock continuing from where he left off in the spring with his victories in the L'Oreal and the Lexus.
You know?
Right. What's ahead for this campaign, Paul? Will you go for the Triple Crown or take him back to Sydney?
More or less the Oakley Plate Newmarket, I'd say.
Right. And how fully wound up is he?
Look, he should improve. You know, he come down here with a sort of just nice for this race. You know, but you think he's
Colt Delayed that can do it too. You know? Well, tell field, and I'm sure John O'Shea's kicking himself now because his horse would have probably run well on this. But you know, he was the best horse on the day without a doubt. You know, to be at the clock tower, looking around and jogging like I was against that quality opposition, and knowing that you had the race completely in control is an awesome feeling in that sort of race. Yeah, it is.
Probably more or less the
What's he worth now? Fast Net Rock there at $4.20. Son of Dane Hill and Piccadilly Circus, a well-bred and well-performed filly herself for Paul Perry and Glenn Boss. And, well, $10 million couldn't buy him. I wouldn't think. It might be getting up towards 20 now. Alingi, gallant in defeat, running second. Cape of Good Hope, a brave effort running third. A sensational effort, really. Let's talk to some of the jocks who played their role in the race yesterday.
She probably ran out of companions on the inside. She loved something to chase, and when she had nothing left to chase, she probably thought her job was done, and she probably just got a little bit tired in the end, and I'd say she'll definitely improve on the run.
When Alingi got to the front, Ronnie, that it was all over because nothing's ever run her down, and I think Damien made an interesting comment. She ran out of friends over there on the inside rail, and when she got to Lalando, who'd led a merry dance, I think she just half switched off. Not to say that she would have beaten the winner anyway. He was coming very, very quickly, but she'd have fought harder if she'd have seen him. I think he ambushed her and got over the top of her. I don't think there's a lot between them, but he's an outstanding colt and his record up the straight remains intact.
Look, he looks bigger, he looks stronger, he looks better. You have to consider last preparation. Now, Paul Perry brought this horse up to the mile of the Caulfield Guineas and then got him back to sprint racing. This time he's training him like a sprinter, and he'll be a super sprinter.
Yep. Calv.
The amazing thing about this race, whether it's an optical illusion or not, I don't know, but you see Lalando leading on the inside, and we're of the opinion that it led clearly. However, you go back and have a look at all the sectional times. In fact, Spark of Life was the horse that was in front at the 600-metre mark, and in fact, Fast Net Rock was always in front of Alingi. So whether she ran out of friends or just ran out of conditions, I'm not quite sure. But outstanding performances, the two horses. Cape of Good Hope, well, he finished at best 1.8 lengths behind the greatest horse of sprint in all time, which is Silent Witness. Obviously ours are pretty good too, because you only beaten a length and a quarter yesterday. Fantastic race. Didn't let anybody down.
Run through of some news. Fast Net Rock, no money could buy the horse. Definitely off to Coolmore in the future. Most likely 2 more runs in Australia, the Oakley Plate and the Newmarket. Then a brief let-up, And if everything continues to go to plan, the Golden Jubilee and the July Cup in England. The second horse, Alingi, Lee Freedman, wrapped with the way she's come through it. Either Adelaide for the Robert Sangster or the Australia Stakes. Girl could back up next week.
It's the Debonair for the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings. Lieutenant, or Lieutenant, one of the more open races we've had today. We've had clear-cut favourites in most events, but certainly not here. The favourite on track is number 7, Lieutenant. $8.70 on the TAB, but it is the on-track favourite. Shoot, number 8, is also well in commission. It looks like it might be the TAB favourite. Then of the rest, we're at double-figure odds. But there are the 3, and in fact, in a minute's time. Moving into line. This one is over the 1400. Here's Greg.
Alderton gets set now. So just the last 4 or 5 starters on the platform. They're away. Tirade jumped okay. Old Trick gets back a little in the early part with Sir Moxie. Tantat Secret was away very quickly with Mr. Martini, who shows pace. And the lead coming up towards the 800-metre mark from Volatant now, a neck away second. 2 lengths back is Tantat Secret on the inside. Barely a moment, having a very torrid run. Caught wide, Mr. Martini the centre. A length and a half to Shoot, and they're trailed by Tirade back on the inside, and then Sir Moxie wide. Back behind those as they swing for home is Count Ricardo from Magic Pins, Kistadan and Old Trick. Into the straight they race at the 500, and Lieutenant had the lead from Volatant and Tantat Secret near the inside. They were followed then barely a moment out wide. Schutt's coming with a run. Tirade near the inside, and Old Trick's made up many lengths against the fence. 300 left to go though, and Lieutenant still had the lead from Mr. Martini. Volatant, Kistadan's running home fairly, but Lieutenant had a kick. He's out by 2 to Mr. Martini. Barely a moment running a big race, but it's Lieutenant coming away from them, and Lieutenant goes on to score by 2.5 lengths. Second, Mr. Martini, I think a nose to barely a moment, and then Count Ricardo, a much better run, got home well, followed by Kistadan, Tirade.
Martini did well as well, but I thought barely a moment, giving 3.5 kilos to the winner and travelling 5 and 6 deep at some stage of the race was a sensational effort. Not to say the winner's not a good horse, he'll win plenty of races too, but the run of the race for mine, barely a moment. Can you agree with any of that, Alf?
Well, you've got to get something right in a full day's racing of 9, but nevertheless, it was a very good performance, barely a moment, but it was quite amazing. You know, Darren...
And it's this year's Silver Slipper Stakes, and it's over the 1100. Very little separates Doomsday and Pasicatira from the 2 leading stables, Hawks and Waterhouse.
2005, the rank outsider, Formidable. Ready now. Racing in the Silver Slipper, and Jetspur came out last, and the early leader is Dr. Green. He's got a lot of natural speed. Pasicatira is going to race the Kiwi now, 2.5 lengths Flying Pegasus. 2 Formidable on the inside of Doomsday, and about as they lead the 600 pole behind them, and it's Dr. Green in front. 2 on the only filly in the field, Pasicatira. Flying Pegasus third. Doomsday getting onto the back of Flying Pegasus, followed by Formidable, and Jetspur is the last horse, straightening up in the Omni, still the Slipper. Pasicatira trying to get on terms with Dr. Green, but the Kiwi accelerated, and down to the 200, it's Dr. Green 2 lengths clear. Here's Doomsday rattling down the outside and looking a big threat to the Kiwi. Flying Pegasus endeavouring to match Doomsday. It's Doomsday and Flying Pegasus racing to the lead. Doomsday's got his head in front, and Doomsday wins it. Doomsday has beaten Flying Pegasus. Third, I'd say, Jetspur, just in front of the weakening New Zealander, Dr. Green. Pasicatira has run second last, and the rank outsider whipped them in Formidable. Doomsday has taken out the Omni Silver Slipper Stakes for Darren Beedman. Another big win for Darren. Lovely colt by Red Ransom from in the past. Beautifully. 4 winners for Darren Beedman yesterday. John Hawkes, the trainer. Flying Pegasus, far from disgraced in finishing second with Jimmy Cassidy, and Dr. Green held on for third, just in front of Jetspur, which missed the start.
Yeah, look, this is a lovely colt, the winner. He looks more like a full
training, as far as I'm concerned. When a horse like Doomsday begins clearly superior to any other runner, drops the bridle, goes back in the field, relaxes and runs on, a sign of everything that's perfect.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Well said. Just of the beaten brigade, what are you laughing at?
You're waxing lyrical over there, you and Alf.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, I tell you what,
South Australia and try and have a crack at the Irwin Stakes.
He loves the place. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Hilton.
Right, Tony Vassell with his mighty horse Super Elegant going around shortly, coming into the mounting yard, Rose Hill. Now, news on Jim Cassidy. I just see Jim Silver Slipper on Flying Pegasus, who was playing up pretty badly. He's not sure what the problem is.
In front of presently as they settle, a length and a half Domingos around Inspire. Cool Front is running fifth, and then comes Timberina, followed by the favourite Pateza. Mustard at Pateza's quarters on the outside, and Utzon last about 8 from Jamison Valley. Down the side they travel, and Jamison Valley shows the way clearly. Second is presently running third, Inspire from Domingos. As they go past the 600, 2 to Cool Front. Pateza on the inside of Timberina from Mustard and Utzon around the corner in this order. And Jamison Valley first for the judge. 3/4 of a length on presently. A length Domingos, Inspire followed by Pateza. Cool Front's on the extreme outer. And a couple of lengths to Utzon. They fan past the 300 where Cool Front's after Domingos, who got to presently. Pateza behind those with Inspire, and Jamison Valley's dropped off, but Cool Front dashed away 100 to go. Utzon getting home with Pateza. Cool Front in front. Pateza starting to pick up the leader, but Cool Front wins it. Cool Front from a tight finish, Pateza and Utzon, followed by Domingos, and then came Mustard. Further back presently, then Timberina, second last Inspire, and the early leader came in last, Jamison Valley. 4 winners for the day. Crossbar in the first, Tivoli Dan
O'Shea, Darren B.
Group company here, and come through with flying colours.
What about Pateza?
Yeah, look,
Pateza keeps doing that a lot.
See this horse?
I know, just roll it
I'm
in.
a little with you. He's got to start winning again.
Yeah, he's had no luck, Larry Cassidy, on the day. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
12 has been supported. He's tightened a couple of points. He's one of the few horses that has come in with the last ring through. Terade's the other one, and Old Trick's the other one. So perhaps the owners, apparently they love the horse, might have had a bit of a go at him here at Flemington. Good.
This phone has not rung. We may have been forgotten on this occasion. Right, late scratchings. Star Peril. Out.
Out on Vet's advice at 4.
And they forgot us for Danabar, but Danabar's out as well. Vet's and 6. They're often racing in the Irwin Stakes. Zakiro out the back. And first away was Super Elegant, going for the early lead with Social Glow. Sitting just behind them, Eltar, Relativity, Fly for Me, and Zakiro last. The late scratching 6 and 11. They race onto the 600 metres. It's Social Glow, a length in front of Super Elegant. A length and a half away third is Star here, 3 deep around Bomberbill, the centre, Polygram, the rails. Being followed by Chatterlane, and then Fly for Me, Relativity from Dane Beltar, and last of all Zakiro. Sanderson said go on Super Elegant. Goes up and joins Social Glow. In third place, Bomberbill. He's coming through the gap between the pair. Then Star here at the 200, Super Elegant the leader. Bomberbill's digging deep. Then Star here, Chatterlane from the tail starts to rally. Super Elegant in front. Chatterlane and Bomberbill are trying hard, but Super Elegant's too classy. And Super Elegant, he won by a half length. Second, Bomberbill, a good first up run. Chatterlane closed quickly for third. Photo fourth, we had Star here, Fly for Me late, and Social Glow, followed in by...
2 good horses there, Alfie boy.
Oh, they certainly are. And he's just a pleasure to watch every time, Super Elegant. Outstanding. And look, the weight for age...
Bradbury's Luck and Danger Looms are the equal Sky Raiders on 100 ahead of Seed Nazar and the Rhine. And let's look at the latest market as I tell you that On Track the Rhine is the favourite ahead of Bradbury's Luck. And Elf, let's get into this. Get into them before Adelaide. Most of them are in the yard. Bradbury's Luck is number 1, of course, to lead, but just in the last minute, the markets is tightening up on the toppy. Pretty close. The Rhine still holds favouritism as we speak.
Bradbury's Luck, it's a difficult one to work out. Bradbury's Luck, it's a difficult one to work out.
The Rhine jumped well, so did Ravisseur, undoubtedly got away well, and Bradbury's Luck flew away from the outside. He's out looking for the lead from that outside barrier. Bradbury's Luck settling in front of Amelino's, Sea Chain deep out around Canary Islands, and getting up on the inside is Test Fire. One further back in the field, then Danger Looms, the inside of Undoubtedly Perfectly Ready, and then the Rhine. Seed Nazar around him, followed by Gaelic Lad, Saint Vesuvio, Ravisseur, Benson back second last, and last is Ferocity. Bradbury's Luck by a little over 2 lengths before the turn. From Amelino's second, a length and a half then to Canary Islands, getting up to third around the bend. They were followed then by Test Fire, Perfectly Ready starting to make ground, and then the Rhine about 6 or 7 lengths from the leader. That's Bradbury's Luck. He's full of running early in the straight by 3 Canary Islands. Perfectly Ready starting to come home well, and then a gap to the Rhine. Bradbury's Luck with 150 to go. A length and a half to Perfectly Ready, who's starting to bridge the gap. A long break then to the Rhine. Perfectly Ready's coming home strongly. He's grabbed the lead. lead, and Perfectly Ready scores a very good win by 2 lengths. The Rhine might grab second from Bradbury's Luck. Canary Islands battled fourth, and then undoubtedly Ferocity made ground. Next, Seed Nazar, Benson passing a few from the rear. Then came Danger Looms, and he was
number 1. Correct weights in at Caulfield on the Blue Diamond Prelude. Perfectly Ready got up to beat the Rhine and Bradbury's Luck.
It's a pleasure to ride, and he's obviously going to be one of the top chances for the Blue Diamond.
Perfectly Ready there. Good-looking son of More Than Ready, who's doing very well for Mick Price and Steve King. The Rhine, good run. He did plenty wrong and ran home well. Bradbury's Luck was on the worst part of the track, battled away well. Canary Islands just behind him also. But I think
Caulfield, the third, coming up in 14 minutes. Queen of the Hill is a rating special at 100 ahead of Testa Real. For this third race on the program, remembering a number of these horses went around in that no race. We'll elaborate on those as we go through the mounting yard. But Queen of the Hill, 240, Testa Real at 7th, that second group of horses. Dowsing number 9 at $12, and Langness, who was first horse over the line in the no race at $2.90. Match we have now, Queen of the Hill and Langness are joint favourites on track. The 5's been
easy. Langness out fairly. Queen of the Hill jumped okay. Moon Fever away fast, and Speedy Rosser began very quickly. It's looking for the lead. Speedy Rosser in front of Bellura, Moon Fever, and Langness getting right up on the inside to join and head them. Came Queen of the Hill between fillies. Over on the inside is Acceleration, and further back 2 or 3 lengths away is Street Smart. Red Hot Mama is up on the outside of Queen of the Hill. Jan Reader second last, and Montu. Langness had it narrowly from Moon Fever 3 wide, and Speedy Rosser the centre. Then moving up on the outside of these is Rossetti, doubting in the red colours, waiting on a run behind them, and so is Testa Real as they swing around the turn. Queen of the Hill's a good way back and under pressure. Down towards the 200 metre mark now, and Rossetti is swept up with Moon Fever. They've gone to the lead. Doubting running on, and so too is Red Hot Mama. Rossetti in front. Doubting's after her. Street Smart flies late. Doubting is finishing the better, and Doubting by a neck to Rossetti second. Street Smart might grab third from Red Hot Mama. Back behind those fillies in the race, Acceleration out wide, and Bellura followed by Montu. Has struck in the previews, or the preludes, and they have backed-written Tycoon like it's a well.
A bit up in the last furlong, and it should have been an easier win for her if she had had a nicer run in the race, but well, it's looking good anyway. She'll just get nursed along, and away we go in the Blue Diamond, hopefully.
Nice win there to the daughter of Redout's Choice. Another stallion doing very, very well. Rossetti and Street Smart there filling the placings at huge odds. Big trifecta there. So it got back and round home quite nicely. But the race to me is...
one thing I want to point out is the third filly there, Street Smart, was beaten 8 lengths by Schnitzel last start. So.
Yeah. Caulfield Cup winner Elvstrom heads an all-star cast for tomorrow's Group 1 CF4 Stakes at Caulfield. Trainer Tony Vasil is confident the stallion can make a winning return, giving the horse an ideal stepping stone to a lucrative international campaign.
It features the likes of Melbourne Cup heroine Maccabi Diva and Cox Plate champion Savabeel, but that hasn't dented Tony Vasil's confidence over the prospects of stable star Elvstrom in tomorrow's CF4 Stakes.
For the very first time in his career, I've really tried to train him to win a race first up.
Vasil adamant the Caulfield. Danny Nicolette taking the ride on Graham Rogerson's favourite horse.
He's definitely developed. He's a really nice horse, and for a Cox Plate winner, I think he's in that race tomorrow with
Now looking towards the next at Caulfield, it's the big feature, the CF4 Stakes at Group 1 level. The Sky ratings show Maccabi Diva and Not a Single Doubt, both on 100 and then both on 97, 7 Casual Pass and 15 Danehill Express. Having a look at the market for you, what will Elvstrom come up? Number 1. Well, it's at $4.90. I can tell you that it's been supported on track. It's pretty close on and off, but it's being supported in a full point on track. Not yet jumping in at the quote that it's at. Down to Savabeel at $8.80. Pretty close, Not a Single Doubt. It overs the tote at the moment, the 14, Not a Single Doubt. No horses walking our way at this stage. Holding favouritism, Regal Roller, but you wouldn't say they're jumping out of the grandstands here, Elf, to back the prominent leader in the race.
No. Good start. Danehill Express away brilliantly. So is Casual Pass. Regal Roller heads them off. Mr. Murphy, Elvstrom got away well, and Lad of the Manor's up there with Not a Single Doubt. As they settle for second, A length and a half to Elvstrom, travelling deep around Lad of the Manor and Casual Pass. 3 lengths Danehill Express, followed by Mr. Murphy. Another 3 lengths away in the field, Savabeel the outside, being trailed by Mummify. 2 lengths to Natural Blitz, 4 lengths to Vouvray, 2 to Maccabi Diva. Pentastic Rise On is well back in the field as they came up the side now, and Pretorius was last. Coming to the 600, Regal Roller by Nectar, not a single doubt. A length to Elvstrom, forced to travel 3 wide the trip. Casual Pass, 4th the inside from Lad of the Manor, 1 to Mr. Murphy. Danehill Express held up on the inside, followed by Mummify. Savabeel starting a run, and then Vouvray and Natural Blitz as they swing to the corner. It's Regal Roller a neck in front of not a single doubt. Elvstrom a half length away on the outside. Savabeel comes wider, stretching home well, and then Mr. Murphy. Regal Roller has his usual kick down at the 200. He's out by 2, not a single doubt. Elvstrom starting to come home now, and then Savabeel. Regal Roller getting a little tight at the 100. Elvstrom starting to pick him up, and then Lad of the Manor. Elvstrom's grabbed the lead. Elvstrom just wins it from Savabeel, who flashes home, and Lad of the Manor close up. Regal Roller just weakening the last bit. Casual Pass, another beauty. Did you see the run of Maccabi Diva? A lovely run. Back behind those, Danehill Express, and they were followed then by Not a Single Doubt and Vouvray. Behind these, Mr. Murphy and Pretorius, Pentastic, Rise On and Natural Blitz. What a super win. He never got on the track. He was 3 wide the whole way. Primed for a first up win. He's held off the tenacious finish of the 3-year-old Savabeel and the guts and determination of Lad of the Manor, and has won a wonderful victory in the Group 1 CF4.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He's a very good horse.
why you expected to do this today? I mean, this is quite extraordinary to see a stayer like this, a Caulfield Cup winner, come out first up at 1400 and win like this.
He's got class, Andrew. He's got class.
You don't, you know,
Really trained him up for this. As I've said all the way along, it was the very first time I've ever really tried to train him for a first up win.
And Nash, did you expect to have such a tough run in transit?
I thought it'd be on the cards, Alf. I mean, I hope it wouldn't happen, but...
After that, I dare say the Australian Cup will be probably his last Australian race start, and then he's off on the international stage.
Yes, Elvstrom there. He certainly put the writing on the wall as far as him being able to compete internationally. Tony Vasil and Nasher Willer combining there. Savabeel, brilliant run. Brilliant run, have to say. He's back with a vengeance. He's going to do big things. Lad of the Manor, well, he was copping a heap of, disadvantage as far as the weights go. He would get plenty off them in a handicap race, but did very, very well.
Thinking about it, he's finished off very well. His sectionals were outstanding, and we know what a class galloper he is. Lad of the Manor, he's obviously going to be very well suited if he goes to the Doncaster, because handicap conditions are going to suit him beautifully. But Richard, I'm just going to go back to you and say, you often mention the fact when horses are bunched together, go down to about 11, and there's 3.5 lengths between first and 11th. What do you make of that? Are they any good?
Well, they've all been proven to be good horses. I think Mummify finished 10th and Danehill Express finished 11th. And I think they're all quality horses, so we just have to say they've all come back very, very well. There was only a few lengths, as you say, between first and 10th. And I thought Maccabi Diva's run was probably one of the better ones. Vouvray was very good. You'd have to say both of those have come back in fine shape.
Yeah, Maccabi Diva, performance, looked good, and she'll go home. I'd anticipate she would have eaten up very well indeed. She's on track. Vouvray was very good. But I thought the horse that may have suffered being on the inside and drawing, look, I'm just not quite sure yet. Danehill Express, he wasn't beaten all that far, finishing in 11th spot, 3.5 lengths away.
Pass ran very well too. There's so many good runs in that race. It'll be a really strong form race.
That's the horse I wanted to bring up, Casual Pass. I'm wondering whether Matty Ellerton might target a race like the Doncaster with him. He's had the 2 runs back now, and I thought he's performed admirably. And Savabeel...
And the favourite for this one is Grand Army #1, ahead of Courts in Session and Our Egyptian Rain. As Ron alerted you...
We'll soon see action in the Apollo Stakes. Main race of the day. They're all there. Set to go. Racing Lovely line. Grand Army jumped out well. Naturally, so did Court Sensation. Our Egyptian Rain not far away from Desert War. Don Rafael, another warrior. Up the rear there at the 600 and the Apollo. And Court Sensation about 5 lengths. Grand Army, 2.5 Our Egyptian Rain. A length Desert War and 4 Don Rafael. 1.5 another warrior, 2 Royal Mask. Bowman has Court Sensation, 4 in front of the favourite Grand Army as they straighten up. Our Egyptian Rain coming out on 2 Desert War. Down to the 250. Bowman shaking up Court Sensation. The big brown gelding Grand Army racing up to Court Sensation. Our Egyptian Rain and Desert War, but Grand Army hit the front, put his neck clear of Court Sensation. Desert War is battling on. Grand Army in front from Court Sensation, and Grand Army, the classy gelding Grand Army, has beaten Court Sensation. Third home was Desert War. Our Egyptian Rain fourth. Then Don Rafael, Royal Mask with another warrior.
A few weeks now.
Going to be a terrific race the way they're all going at the moment.
Yep, just talking with David Moody, who, of course...
Pickings here. Right.
Yeah, good on you, Alan. Yeah, Grand Army, Gay Waterhouse and Dan Beasley, who has a terrific affinity with that horse. Court's in session, a fabulous run second, and Desert War's run good too.
Yeah, great Doncaster trial by Desert War, the Epsom winner. I think Gale's setting for that race for sure, and he'll come in well at the handicaps compared to Grand Army, but he's back with a bang. A more aggressive ride on Grand Army yesterday, switched him on, and he chased this hot speed here. Take nothing away from the second horse. He was gallant in defeat. He didn't shirk his task at all.
He fought on. Yeah. When Grand Army got to him, he had another go at him.
Well, look, he's running course record time up front. You'd expect, oh, well, he's had enough now. He'll drop off. He'll run fourth here. He rallies.
Yeah.
He'll go to the Chipping Norton on his home track, tight turning track.
Yeah, he's hard to beat there.
He'll race very, very well.
What do you make of Egyptian Rain?
I feel it was the wrong tactics. I thought she'd be on the leader's back the whole way and ready to pounce, but obviously it took the sting out of her running so quick. You know, when they're running course record time, I end up having something on her, being a little forgiving on her first up, but I was completely wrong there.
Seconds, but well, you couldn't help but be impressed. I rate him the best horse in the country, Grand Army, at the moment, and I think he's still holding that crown. And
It's Grand Army. Now let's have a look at the ratings. They can't go past Dance Hero, number 1. They've made him a special. He's well clear of Eremion, number 4, and then 2 Outback Prince and 3 Uber, 1, 4, 2 and 3. Well, he's $1.20 on the TAB, and he's not a great deal better than that here at Randwick. He is a very short price favourite. He completes shorter here, but the story of this one is that the market is completely dominated by Dance Hero, and who's the
big odds? They're racing. The New Zealander Able Standard missed it by a length and a half, and Dance Hero straight to the front. Second, Posse Uber. Third, Outback Prince. Then Western. No change in the order casting. The 600 peg behind them in the Hobartville, and the leader Dance Hero clearly a length and a half. Outback Prince, followed by Uber. Then comes Eremine. Further away is Collate. Western Bow spikes to the outside of the All Cerise, and Able Standards last. In the stretch on top of the rise, Outback Prince is making a race of it with Dance Hero, and Dance Hero at the 220 just in front of Outback Prince, and then 2 lengths away Eremine. Well, Dance Hero's been headed by Outback Prince. Outback Prince race clear. Eremine is coming after him, but Outback Prince safely holding Eremine, and Outback Prince wins the Hobartville. Eremine second, Dance Hero third, and a photo for fourth between Uber and Spikes, followed in by Western Bow Collate, and Able Standard came in at the back of the pack.
I'd really expect her to do the same thing. She's versatile. She'll race on the pace and be hard to beat.
Your pick of the
next couple of weeks for Hugh Bowman there. Outback Prince, Eremine second, Dance Hero third. Eremine's run very good.
Oh, should have won. Should have won, Eremine. 3 deep the whole way. If he can stay, Eremine, I feel he's a real chance in a couple of these big 3-year-old races. But take nothing away from the winner. He's proven himself. He's back in form now after 1 run back from a spell. I don't know what to think about Dance Hero. He had his chance. He didn't run up anywhere near to that first up win.
Do you know what I rate him? I rate him a very talented horse, Dance Hero, who was a great 2-year-old. But if you run him against the top sprinters that are around at the moment, and I throw in the likes of Fastnet Rock and perhaps Alingi and Spark of Life, you can reel off 4 or 5 of them. You run him against them, he'll just be the pacemaker for them. He won't beat them. And that's not to say he's not a talented horse who won't win his share of races, but not in that grade for mine anymore. But you know, Gay has a habit of proving people wrong, but I'm fairly confident about that.
Ron, what's your opinion of Outback Prince? Do you think he can get a Derby distance? And what did you think of Spikes?
Look, Outback Prince, I've got reservations about him getting a Derby distance. He did a lot of things wrong last preparation. But as far
I can report New Zealand. Here come the latest tote figures on New Zealand in the yellow, reminding you Lashed at 320, The Jewel at 520, and Waikati Dream at 620. And as we bring up the second group, Dowry, of course, won the SA feature back in May of last year. It's at $9.80 on New South Wales. So that's the market odds for New Zealand. Race due in.
Waitaki Dream has drawn alongside of Lash. Now in goes Octopussy, standby, we're set for a start. Group 1, let's bring it on. Starter on his rostrum. They stand well, gates open, they're off in the Whakanui Stud International. First away, Svezda towards the outside. Distinctly Secret is heading towards the lead as well. Octopussy began quickly over on the inside. Penny Gem is nice and handy from the Jewel. He's been eased back now to settle fifth. 1 metres out in the Whakanui Stud International Group 1. Pacemaker Octopussy from on the outside. Svezda. Distinctly Secret is going nicely in third spot. So is the Jewel in fourth position. The first gone is Penny Gem. She's given ground sharply and she's dropped out of it. Something obviously not right as they come to the corner. Party's moved up into fifth spot from Waitaki Dream. Dowry on the inside. Back last, second to last is Lashed, and she's flat to the boards too, and back with it Fountain Abbey. Penny Gem's being pulled up. Homeward bound now, 350 to go, and the Jewel. The Jewel ranged up to Distinctly Secrets. Fastest third, and behind them Octopussy. Further away Party, then Waitaki Dream warming up, and Lashed is starting to arrive late at the 150. It's the Jewel in front from Distinctly Secret. Lashed and Party late, but the pride of the South, the Jewel, she's too big, she's too strong, and she's too good. She wins the Whakanui Stud International. Second over, I think Distinctly Secret from the late finishing Lashed, and behind them Octopussy, followed over and behind these by Waitaki Dream and Party. Then found was Dowry and Penny Gem. She has been pulled up. She was not going behind them Octopussy.
Yeah. Yes, Lashed and Octopussy in the Whakanui Classic, all right? That is right.
He did a good job calling that, didn't he?
The WH in the Maori language is pronounced F.
Is it? That's
apparently.
Good. Okay, I'm glad to know.
All right, the winner, the Jewel, Graham, I'll get you out of there, raced in Melbourne and had all sorts of problems going back to the autumn of last year, but it's back to good form now for Heck Anterton. We'll race there in another Group 1 race on March the 5th with Lee Centres riding again, but they're still keen to come for the Australian Cup. And they've also nominated the Jewel for the BMW. And you'll see finishing home here in the green and those yellow dots, Lashed into third spot. That was probably her last run. She's been a great mare for Sir Patrick Hogan. Unlucky again, Ron, as you said, and she's in foal as we speak.
Yeah. Wasn't it the Jewel?
Got Kaninsky 100 ahead of Sedekram, King's Chapel clean sweep. Latest tote figures for you. Kaninsky at the moment $3 on New South Wales. Matt Browning to rejoin you shortly as we go to Alan Thomas for race 4 in Brisbane.
1,400 metres, King's Chapel the favourite, gates open, they're off. And first out, Kaninsky. Dan Bird began quickly and showing speed along the inside. Le Monde. Right there is Sarah V in the early stages. There goes Clear V lying fourth. Followed round by Le Monde, fifth, a length less. 500 metres left to go as they come towards the corner. And the Group 1 Waikato Draft Sprint, and here they come. The leader at this stage now is Clean Sweep. From on the outside, poised to challenge is Dan Bird. Coming wide, Sarah V. Kaninsky got the gap if good enough along the inside. And behind them, Le Monde, King's Chapel still 5 off them. Travelling Man going a cheeky race, and Sedekram down the outside. Across the track of the 200 metres. Clean Sweep coming after Sarah V. Le Monde could be the giant killer. Travelling Man and Sedekram starting to motor home. It's on the inside. Le Monde, Sedekram lunge. Sedekram back to back Group 1 Waikato Draft Sprints. Sedekram. Second over was Le Monde. Gave them all sorts of gave them a decent old fright. And behind them Travelling Man was close up, and right with it Sarah V. Kaninsky was next. thing came Rodan, King's Chapel, Ernest William, Dan Bird faded and back towards the rear as they went across the line was...
Highlighted the winning performance of a newcomer by the name of Opportunity, winning at Ballarat. Well, here's Opportunity winning yesterday, the 2-year-old at Moonee Valley, and is it headed for the Blue Diamond?
Almost a length with Conestoga running a bit wide around that bench. He kicked away now by 2 on him, and then Duel, who's under the whip, and under the floor is next, but it's all Opportunity. They tried to gas her early, but away she goes. She is very good. Opportunity came clear to win by 3 lengths on the line. Under the floor second, a neck away third, Conestoga. Then
here we are, a week off, poised, with $1 million race staring you in the face. She's had 2 runs left.
Here come the ratings. Flying Pegasus on top, the 100 raider over Nemazine, Come Undone and Assertive Choice. So 1, 5, 2 and 3. Now, let's have a look at the market, and I can tell you what's going on too elsewhere. Nemazine is the favourite. Front of Flying Pegasus at $3.80. Not much in it with the tote and the...
Off in the kindergarten. And Joe Dubai and Assertive Choice bounced out in front from Flying Pegasus, a length and a half to Come Undone. Nemeson second last and catch along to the 600 marker, and Joe Dubai's a length and a half Flying Pegasus. In third position, obliged to race out wider, Assertive Choice. About 2 lengths to Nemeson on the outside of Come Undone and a couple of lengths to Catch the Bird. This is the order down to the turn at the 400 marker, and Joe Dubai narrowly over Flying Pegasus, wider out Assertive Choice, and Beedman hooks the favourite Nemeson 4 wide to throw out the challenge to the leaders. In the stretch now, down to the 220, and Nemeson lengthening straight after Flying Pegasus, who beat off Joe Dubai. Assertive Choice has gone. The leader, Flying Pegasus. Nemeson on the outside is taking a half hour to get to Flying Pegasus. She won't bridge back Flying Pegasus, and Flying Pegasus wins the kindergarten from Nemeson. Third, Assertive Choice. Catch the Bird fourth, then Joe Dubai, and Come Undone ran last.
Race we've seen the market now for the Golden Slipper by Fusaichi Pegasus out of Cashier. I remember Bart Cummings, that is.
Bart Cummings bred this horse.
Bred? Oh, did he?
And sold him.
Yeah. Nemeson second, Assertive Choice third.
Look, I think he's top class. I think he's top class. He's coming out of the Silver Slipper. Nemeson, I'm locked into the Slipper. I thought
it's got to improve a lot.
Yeah, but the Slipper's a month off, and
look, it might
it's all about timing, the Slipper.
But I'm telling you, on that run, it's got to improve 4 to 5 lengths to be a Slipper winner for mine.
But there would be big improvement.
Well, there might be, but it's got...
Well, she goes back to Rosehill where that dominant win was. Look,
it's beaten nothing so far.
I'm a little forgiving, but I'm starting to shake in the boots a little.
If you look at her form, strictly on form...
The ratings on the surround, and of course on top is this terrific filly Lotteria. We're looking forward to her return today. Crimson Rain is the strong second elect. She's had 2 runs back. She should be cherry ripe for this, and Nash Rawilla just a fraction shorter on the tote. Crimson Rain the second elect, then Johan.
They're off in the surround. Tivoli Dancer from a whitish alley jumped out quickly. Shania Dana's right there. And not far away is Villa Bled. Johann's Toy being eased back a little. Villa Bled shows the way. Shania Dane second. Johann's Toy trapped on a limb third. 2 to Burning Sands, followed closely by Trace Avant. And further out on the track next is Tivoli Dancer. The deepest is Lotteria. Then Fantasia, Crimson Rain, Cincinnati Gallon, Pimpinella. They straighten up. Lotteria's back midfield. Villa Bled on the inside. Shania Dane and Johann's Toy. Tivoli Dancer, and now Lotteria starting to put in. Here she comes. Lotteria gathered them up very quickly. On the inside, Johann's Toy battling on pretty well is Fantasia with Shania Dane, but Lotteria, 5 out of 5, has won it from Shania Dane or Johann's Toy. Then Fantasia, Trace Avant, Villa Bled, Tivoli Dancer, Burning Sands, followed up by Pimpinella. Too good. Lotteria the winner. She gathered
out of Rose Reward, beautifully bred. Lotteria has won against the Colts, so it's unbeaten. Shania Dane second, and Johann's Toy.
Look, she's a real racehorse, a real racehorse. She come out a little on the back foot, got back further than expected, and gee, she dug in down the straight. As you say, unbeaten. Well, what about a mare like this for the Doncaster?
Oh.
I don't know whether Gail want to stretch her out to an Oaks journey. I don't know, but she's got class, she's got quality.
You've got to test her.
Yeah.
She relaxes in her races. One thing, if we can just let the tape run on beyond the race, you'll see she's got a bit of of a funny front leg action. Change strides on the post there. When you go on, you look 3 deep a lot of the way.
And I can make a case to say that Johann's Toy should have won the race. She was caught wide without cover, over-raced, and I thought there was a lot of merit in that performance as well. But, yeah, you can't take much away from the winner. She's simply outstanding.
I know we use
The Runners Parade. Grand Army, the 100 raider for the Group 1, Chipping Norton, Courts in Session, Our Egyptian Rain and Sulamore, 1, 4, 6 and 5. Let's have a look at these runners now.
Go out there and we will tag him along and see if we can run him down.
All right, now on a little shorter on the toad in front of Courts in Session, who has not moved from his opening quote, and he's about level pegging on the toad. And then you...
No, still quite warm. They're off in the Chipping Norton, a lovely start. Courts in Session at the end of 100, a narrow leader over Our Egyptian Rain, Winning Bell. Grand Army caught wide in the early stages from County Tyrone way. And Courts in Session leads the short price pick Grand Army by a length and 3/4, 1.5 Our Egyptian Rain. 3/4 Winning Bell on the outside, 2 Hugs Dancer. A length and 3/4 Sulamore and 1 further back County Tyrone. This is the order coming down to the corner at the 450, and Courts in Session is only a length and a half on Grand Army, similar margin Our Egyptian Rain. Winning Bell, Hugs Dancer from County Tyrone and Sulamore. Homeward bound now, and Danny Beasley asking Grand Army for his effort, and he races up to almost join Courts in Session, who won't give in without a kick, and Winning Bell is running on from Our Egyptian Rain, but Grand Army put his neck in front of Courts in Session, and then Our Egyptian Rain and Winning Bell, but it's Grand Army hanging on and will beat Courts in Session. Grand Army, too good for Courts in Session. 3rd Winning Bell, 4th Our Egyptian Rain, followed by Hugs Dancer, County Tyrone and Absolute with Sulamore.
Term 27 for Grand Army. That record says it all. Over $4 million in prize money. Dan Beasley.
And Grand Army, well, he's just defending his ranking as the #1 horse in the country pretty well at the moment.
He's the king. Look, the way these horses paraded yesterday, look, Grand Army, I've never seen him look better. He just loped around in the heat, didn't raise a sweat. The other horse next to the pony, jig jog, and then just his own worst enemy, but he still performed so well. The 3rd mare's come up well also, Winning Bell. I don't know what Gay's got in mind for her, maybe a Doncaster?
Yes, possible. Well, that he'll be able to... It's just Gay's horses are winning in Melbourne now, which is good.
I think Winning Bell is a good option for the Australian Cup.
Yeah, I think so.
City Cup. And a look at the market. Well, what a market this is. There's plenty of chances here. We see this very good runner from the Hawks camp, only beaten once in his short race career, Binding, but he's back behind Falkirk. Now on the tote he's come up as the favourite, but in the ring Falkirk list here to Pateza, who's been so consistent, needs luck. But Besame Mucho first up. Trained by Bart Cummings. Dale Spriggs rides today. Probably one of the best Liverpool City Cup fields we've ever seen. And what a open market it is too with...
Rough. Sportsman jumped with gusto from a wide alley and leads on, settling down from Besame Mucho. And then comes Magic Marvo, Falkirk improving, and so's Oscar Warrior, presently not far away. The same Athelnoth, followed by Academe, and 2 lengths to Woots and Sam Sung a Song. Drifting back now is Magic Marvo, a length further back in the field is Nips, followed closely by Amex Pateza. Then Binding Mr. Celebrity, followed by Bush Honey, and a long margin to Mustard in company with Toulouse-Lautrec. They're working past the 700. And the leader here is Oscar Warrior, a length and a half Sportsman. Academe 3rd, Besame Mucho 4th. Length and a half to presently Falkirk Athelnoth, followed by Utes and Sam Sung a Song. Then Nips a length and a half, Pateza, followed by Binding, and then Magic Marvo, Mr. Celebrity. Amex Bush Honey, followed by Toulouse-Lautrec. And last on the outside is Mustard. They straighten up. Oscar Warrior, the leader. A length and a half clear. Falkirk is unwinding out in the centre of the track from Academe and Sportsman. And wide out is Utzon. Falkirk bridges the gap on Oscar Warrior, followed by Sportsman. Sam Sung a Song is starting to rattle home Falkirk. Sam Sung a Song wins it from Falkirk, Oscar Warrior, and presently followed by Utes and Mr. Celebrity. Followed home then by Toulouse-Lautrec, Mustard. Binding further away then was on the outside Nips. Further back in the field came Amex and then Academe.
When you have a look at Tony Wonka, first home syndicate. He's doing well, Tony. Nice to see you on screen there, Tony. Falkirk 2nd, Patessa 3rd. As I said, hadn't raced since the Villiers, the winner.
On down into 2nd spot, but look, couple of runs in this. Look at this horse running last with the blaze on the fence here.
Toulouse-Lautrec?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the yellow colours, just easing off the heels
checking
there.
Checking it fresh air there, hitting the line.
Well, what about the horse in front of him, Binding, that he's just about to go past?
Yeah, he did a few. He missed the start. Did a few things wrong.
Ron, what's that down the outside?
That's my horse to follow.
Oh, who's that?
Mr. Celebrity. He'll win a good race in the autumn. That horse. The shortest race he's ever contested. Didn't have much luck. Wasn't really knocked around. Not that he could have won anyway, but I thought he ran a terrific race.
Good form race, that, I reckon.
Yeah, that's the hottest Liverpool City Cup I've seen in ever.
Ever. Yeah. We highlighted the winning performance of a newcomer by the name of Opportunity winning at Ballarat. Well, here's Opportunity winning yesterday, the 2-year-old at Moonee Valley. And is it headed for the Blue Diamond?
Almost a length with Conestoga running a bit wide around that bench. He kicked away now by 2 on him. And then Duel, who's under the whip, and under the floor is next, but it's all Opportunity. They tried to gas her early, but away she goes. She is very good. Opportunity came clear to win by 3 lengths on the line. Under the floor second, a neck away third, Conestoga. Then
here we are, a week off, poised with a $1 million race staring you in the face. She's had 2 runs left-handed. She doesn't have problems, trouble-free, and staring down the barrel of a race like next Saturday, you'd be pretty keen to run her.
Sure would in the Blue Diamond. An Opportunity there. It won like an odds-on favourite. Ronnie Dufficy picked this out.
Low bullet at the moment, $1.20. We've got a race from New Zealand coming up, so Alf, let's jump into the late mark.
Any of them can bleed if they want to.
Do you care?
I don't care, no.
Bullet attack. Astrodame Provence, the first 2 to bounce out. They share the lead early. From Ransom Claim with the fence and then wider out. Truly Wicked deep in the orange colours. Around Twisted Heart, Hollow Bullet pushes up inside her, so he's just on the back of the 2 lengths to Hollow Bullet, now about 4 or 5 lengths from the leader around the 800 turn. Truly Wicked peels out around Hollow Bullet. Taggart's awake to it. He pulls out now on the favourite. Dazell's 2 lengths away last. They bunch. 600 left to go. Astrodame had it narrowly from Twisted Heart Provence. Hollow Bullet's gone up 4 wide, and right off the track now is Truly Wicked 5 wide. Ransom Claims off the bit, and Dazell was last. Coming around the home turn, Astrodame on the inside, Hollow Bullet being aggressively ridden in the middle, and on their outside Truly Wicked is coming with a strong run. These 3 have kicked away now as they swing around the turn. Dazell making ground. Hollow Bullet's got a real fight. Truly Wicked led her narrowly. Hollow Bullet has to rally on the inside. Truly Wicked's a neck in front of Hollow Bullet. Dazell is coming over the top of them out wide. Dazell is flying home. Dazell gets there. Yes, she's got there, Dazell, in the last stride or 2. Either Hollow Bullet or Truly Wicked for second. And they were clear from Astrodame, Twisted Heart Provence, Ransom Claim last in. She's come from a really awkward place, an impossible winning position when the speed wasn't strong, and she has sprouted wings in the straight, Dazell, and she'll get it, I'm sure. Number 7.
With the impressive win by Dazell. The Oaks in Sydney for this one, perhaps, for the Hawks stable.
Heel out of Danelaw, very, very well bred. She was a Blue Diamond winner, Danelaw, and has only had a few runs now and is really starting to show her best up at the 1600 metres. Hollow Bullet, I thought David Taggart rode her quite well, actually, yesterday and gave her every chance. He got flushed out early, but it wasn't his fault. No, and credit where it's due, and Truly Wicked hanging on for 3rd there, but this filly, I think she's going places. I know they've got high hopes for her, and I think the further they go, the better she'll like it, Alf.
Yeah, look, I've got no... Actually, that was a very, very good summary, and you're mellowing from week to week as far as I'm concerned, because a lot of people were very, very critical of David Taggart yesterday, and again, I will concur with you, Richard, because I didn't think he had any option but to come out when he was flushed out by Truly Wicked, and that, I thought, was a little bit early, and I know, John, as I'm concerned, because...
Very, very good filly, the winner. She's got a sense of timing about her. It was only a 2nd run back from a spell. She looks like she'll stay all day. Should be favourite for the Oaks. David Taggart made 1 mistake.
Okay, the top cut Alistair Clark Stakes. And Lieutenant is the top raider ahead of Renewable, Volaton, Rockford Bay. That's the field. 1, 4, 6 and 5 repeating. Danehill Express was a late scratching this morning. The market for you, Win operating on the race, due in about 14 minutes. And there. By the way, we mentioned Dazell with Wayne Hawke.
Renewable the inside. School, and Rockford Bay by about 3/4 of a length. On the outside of him, Lieutenant Volatile goes up 3 wide, and Renewable's a length and a half behind these horses who make a line of 3 across the track. Lieutenant takes the lead now from Rockford Bay. Volatile right there on the outside of Lieutenant, and Renewable's off the bit trying to run them down, but it's Lieutenant going for home. Volatile's going with him in the straight. Lieutenant led narrowly from Volatile, and then a length Renewable. Lieutenant a nick in front. Volatile's giving him a real good race, but Lieutenant's pulling away in the last little bit and scores by 3/4 of a length. Either Volatile or Renewable for second. There's little between them. Rockford Bay last of the 4. Lieutenant Clark was correct weight with Lieutenant.
Number 6 ahead of 2, 1 and 7. Here comes a full look at the market here. I can tell you that Cape of Good Hope, pretty close on enough. Super Elegant, pretty close as well. Bomber Life at $2.30. It's a little bit easy on track, but it's nearly flip of the coin. And the bottom 3, well, there's a little bit of value on each of those. For the Group 1 Australia Stakes in 13 minutes. And Alf?
It's got to be an advantage and a hindrance. And you also picked up the ride on Gold.
350,000 at Group 1. The Global Sprint Challenge is away. Cape of Good Hope began very fast. So did Spark of Life and Super Elegant. Bomberbill settling down just off them for the end of the field with Great is Great on his outside. Spark of Life has the lead. He's 3/4 clear. Cape of Good Hope right on the pace today, second. A length to Bomberbill. Super Elegant 3/4 away, fourth. A length and a half to Sky Cuddle, being followed by Modem, about 8 lengths from the leader. Dane Shadow around him, wide all the way, and then Delzeo and Great is Great. At the 600, Spark of Life by almost a length. Cape of Good Hope. A length Bomberbill and a nick away to Super Elegant. The big 4 are up there as they sweep to the turn. 2, 3 lengths further back then is Sky Cuddle. Modem off the bit, and then came Dane Shadow. Spark of Life going for home. He's trying to get a break. He's only a length to Cape of Good Hope. Bomberbill right on the back of the leader, and then Super Elegant at the turn now, and Cape of Good Hope sprinted past Spark of Life. Down the outside, Super Elegant, but Cape of Good Hope's got a break on him. He's 2 lengths clear, and Cape of Good Hope is going on to score brilliantly by 2 lengths. Super Elegant. Spark of Life a half length away, third. Then Great is Great from the rear from Sky Cuddle, Modem, Bomberbill, and then Dane Shadow and Delzeo was last in. Cape of Good Hope, the Hong Kong sprinter, has scored a brilliant win at Group 1 level in the Timbercorp Australia Stakes.
He's not a bad horse, this. I mean, it just makes you realise just how good the 2 3-year-olds are that beat him in the Lightning.
Is this more travels back on Monday and every chance now to meet Silent Witness tomorrow week in Hong Kong?
Absolutely. If he travels back all right, he'll run week on Sunday. Yes. Yeah.
The Globals.
It's very tempting, but unfortunately the quarantine regulations don't really allow us. He's going to be out of Hong Kong for 2 months if he stays down here, so it's not really ideal for his programme later in the year. You've got.
He's quite the well-travelled horse, isn't he? He's been everywhere and he's going everywhere again. He's been a bridesmaid to Silent Witness for the last couple of years, but an outstanding effort there. I thought he really showed that he is better than our older sprinters, and it was only the 3-year-olds that lowered his colours in the Lightning. And there are a couple of good runs in the race too, Alfie.
Yes, look, first off, I've got to say it was a fantastic ride by Brett Preble. There was only one horse he had to worry about and show any concern about, and that was Super Elegant. He flew out of the gates. He didn't absolutely wonderfully. Super Elegant, I thought he was very game in defeat. Greg tried to give him as easy a run as possible in the race. I think he could have made it a little bit more difficult for Cape of Good Hope, but nevertheless, back to Sydney, you'll see him perform. But I tell you what, I really only thought there was one disappointing run in the race, and that was of Delzeo. I don't know where he's going. I don't think the horse knows where he's going either. And Great is Great. It was great yesterday.
Well, now, Spark of, that's the latest there. Elf mentioned Great is Great. On target for the Doncaster trainer Greg Urell.
Up Super Elegant perfectly. You know, at his best, he can win a Group 1 race, right conditions and things like that. But at the weight for age level against the Group 1 horses like we saw yesterday, he's just a little bit below it. But, you know, game horse, and, you know, wait till he goes back to Hong Kong, and I think you'll find he'll be a place getter again.
He was just completely lost, the favourite here, Spark of Life. You could see
he had his head over the inside running right.
Yeah, trying to hold him under the fence. He got lost when he won the Manicardo as well, but he's just didn't handle that track at all. You have to make an excuse for him. He'll be better when he gets back to Sydney.
Great is Great was a very good.
The 8th event, the Robert Sangster for the fillies and mares over the 1200 metres. Group 1 action at its very best at Morfettville, and in particular, interested to see the price of a Lingy. Well, $1.30 on Unitab currently. And $300,000 in prize money for the fillies and mares over the 1200. Number 11 for Damien Oliver at $1.30. Alinghi's won 8 from 13 with 5 minors for Lee Freedman, the Morfettville, and they're on their way to the start. Alinghi is all the rage at 140. Danabar, the
1200. Robert Sangster Stakes at Group 1. They're off. Oh, out wide, dipping severely at the start was Ballet Society. Blake Shint went straight over the top of the horse's neck. He's okay. And first away was Tani Girl showing speed. Danabar over on the field. About to third last was Womanize. Back there in company there with G.I. Jane just ahead of those runners. Then Fly For Me and Dane Beltar at the 450-metre mark. They're about to straighten in the Robert Sangster. And the leader is Danabar. She's 3/4 in front of Tani Girl. Wider out Social Glow. Near the inside, maybe McLaren. Now Alinghi let go. On the outside, going with her Solar Antiquity, but not for long. Alinghi's cruised up and taken the lead in the Robert Sangster Stakes. And Oliver has not moved on Alinghi. She is a class above these. Glamour Puss is charging to second from Solar Antiquity. But Alinghi, a soft win in the Robert Sangster Stakes at Group 1 level. That's her third. And she won by 2 lengths to Glamour Puss. Third in the race, Solar Antiquity. G.I. Jane ran on. Further back, Danabar, maybe McLaren from Tani Girl from Womanize. Then Quavira further back to maybe McLaren and Fly For Me. With them also Dane Beltar from Quavira, Social Glow, and Dio Favonte a long last, and the jockey Blake Shin went straight over the horse's neck of Ballet Society as the start was effected. 2 lengths to Glamour.
you just can't wait now for the Newmarket to come along, can you? Alinghi, Glamour Puss has run second, and Solar Antiquity third. Ballet Society through or knuckled at the start, and Blake Shin came out.
Yeah, he did. Look, this filly classes above these other fillies and mares here, and with the weight scale being, you know, weight for age, she got in, getting weight off horses in a handicap she'd probably give 5 kilos to, so it was all in her favour. She couldn't have done it any easier. She had Ballet Society to chase too. She loves to chase. She had a riderless one up in front of her to chase. So look, it all played into her hands, and she's going extremely well. It will be a great clash. This filly is getting better with racing, and racing handier, which is a really important thing for her. Most of her losses have come because she's got out of position early, but she seems to be taking up a better position, boys.
And Richard, I think one thing that brings the Newmarket, just talking to people and listening to Richard's voice here, is that they really do think they should have won the Lightning, that they didn't see Fastnet rock out wide.
Oh, and that's, I'll tell you what, don't worry about that. There is a lot of merit in that comment, because when horses...
In the Newmarket, what about Loteria's and Alinghi's clash maybe in the Doncaster? I'll tell you, there's some great racing coming up.
3-year-olds this year are a stellar bunch this year, especially the sprinters.
Definitely.
The Mine World's a different ball game.
Tomorrow's other highlight sees the return clash of Melbourne Cup champ Maccabi Diva and freakish last start winner Elvstrom in the St George Stakes.
He's a jockey's dream, really. He's a horse that I've sort of been riding for 15 years and have been sort of waiting for.
He's just a super horse, and I still don't think he's even had the recognition that he probably really deserves. He is an out-and-out, he's Edna Woods champion status.
Damien after St George Stakes, weight for age, and there's a rating for each horse in the race. Elvstrom, Casual Passia 4 Stakes first up at Caulfield, there's no question. He's one of Australia's best gallopers. He's opened at $1.10 on Super.
Rides well. She's, got to step up again.
Set racing in the St George. Elvstrom probably the slowest to move on the outside. Maccabi Diva drifts back, and Nicholas Ryan takes Casual Pass straight out to find the lead in the early part. Leads from Elvstrom, who's going to posse up second on the outside. Striking distance, so this could be wound up for something special. 500 left to go. Casual Pass by 1. Elvstrom stalking him. 1 Natural Blitz. Dwayne Dunn just niggling at him. And Maccabi Diva within 2 lengths of Elvstrom, coming around the home turn. Casual Pass corners by a half length. Elvstrom's coming after him. Maccabi Diva peels off Elvis's back. She's in it with a show. 200 to go now. Elvstrom got up level with Casual Pass. Maccabi Diva still threatening. She's about a half length away. Elvstrom with 100 metres to go. Had the lead narrowly from Maccabi Diva. Elvstrom holding on near the line. Elvstrom in front and won. Elvis, the king of Caulfield, beat Maccabi Diva by a head. A great St George. Casual Pass third and Natural Blitz for last. He had a battle. It was a great race. It was set up to be a great race for a long way. It delivered brilliantly. 2 great horses. A half head separated them on the line.
For $1.40 chance, you'd like to see him win better than that. Yeah. But look, the mare that's chased him home is the best staying mare arguably in the world. You know, he's done the job again.
Really, that was good. The Blue Diamond Stakes.
The great mare Maccabi Diva, he was a $1.55 favourite and she was $4. There wasn't that much between them. And Casual Pass, well, he's back to nearly his best. They ran a faster last 600 metres in that race than they did in the Oakley Plate. So that spells out the merit and the quality of these two horses, Elvstrom and Maccabi Diva. It probably suits him, that sprint home, a little better than it suits her, and it'll be a mighty clash in the Australian Cup if that comes off. And I'm looking forward to it, boys.
Oh, look, it's going to be a fantastic race. Although, one thing I will say, you're going to get a much bigger field in the Australian Cup. That's going to suit Elvstrom. It's not going to suit Maccabi Diva. They opened up an inquiry.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You don't think there'll be more pace with a bigger field?
Irrespective, you're still going to get Elvstrom in the perfect position all the time. She is going to be disadvantaged over the mile and quarter, 2,000 metres at Flemington because of the bigger field.
What
it's
makes
going to
you
be
think she
harder
has to race that far back anymore?
Well, let me tell you something. I bet she's not as close to Elvstrom in the Australian Cup as that race yesterday.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Well, I'll bet you on it. Not a problem whatsoever. One could be a little critical, I suppose, from a punting point of view. Just looking at it, one would have perhaps liked Glenn to perhaps give it a slap at the 600. You saw him give it a slap down the shoulder just as they were rounding the corner to improve up to it. But I thought that initially. Then I went back and looked at the sectional times. She ran the fastest 800, 600, 400 and 200, and her last 200 was clearly the best of her race and the race itself and of any other runner. And the stewards have opened up an inquiry.
Then Tycoon and Strike Line, 1, 7, 2 and 6. The race coming up in about 15 minutes as we check out the market. The favourite is Fastnet Rock, #1, and we're about to hear from Greg Childs, the rider of Don't Tell Tom.
Greg, Don't Tell Tom has had nice space between runs. What do you expect in the Oakley Plate today?
Well, he's had, he was... He can surprise you, and it's quite an open field.
A bit later today, Tier 8, any chance of improving?
He improved run last start, still hoping...
Fastnet Rock jumped okay, Danbird slow. Don't Tell Tom away quickly. Alizé out very fast with Segments going fast also. Bayes back to last at the 600 metres. Don't Tell Tom along the rails and Lalendo, the 2 leaders ahead now of Segments, and Alizé fourth the outside. 2 lengths to Fastnet Rock, Tycoon around him, Strike Line the rail. Then 4 played Danbird and Legally Bayes last as they swing around the turn. Don't Tell Tom is headed by Lalendo at the top of the straight now. Then Segments, Alizé down the outside, Fastnet Rock, 4 lengths from the leader. Inside the 200, it's Lalando in front of Don't Tell Tom. Segments running a huge race, and Fastnet Rock is closing now. Here he comes. Fastnet Rock has raced to Lalando, and Segments the inside, and the 3-year-old has just won it. Fastnet Rock, what a beauty. Beating Segments, who's run out of her skin. Legally Bay Lalando photoed for third from 4 play, and Don't Tell Tom. Strike Line, and next in Danbird, Alizé Weekend, and Tycoon last of all. Setting a new benchmark for 3-year-olds in handicap sprinting, carrying 57 kilos. Fastnet Rock has won the Oakley Plate. #1.
Tycoon, I'll be interesting to see what happened there, because I sort of liked him a little bit, but he's finished a long way back, so obviously something not right there. Terrific race, though.
There's no doubt he's an outstanding 3-year-old sprinter, Fastnet Rock, and it's going to be a mighty clash when he clashes with Alinghi. They're both going brilliantly. That form being franked around Cape of Good Hope and the others through the Lightning Stakes there. The brilliant win carrying the 57 kilos, the weight carrying record, and the Segments. I don't know where it came from. $151. It's just gone unbelievably well. Legally Bay was unlucky not to win the race. Got slightly hampered by Fastnet Rock, not to the degree that it led them up. Was there an excuse for that, Andrew?
Yeah, he did bleed during the race, bled for the first time, off for 3 months obviously, but gee, on the home term, Fastnet Rock was, I thought, very vulnerable.
Well, the fact that they went fairly hard in the race, yeah, one could have thought that, but as they settled down, I'll be quite frank, I had something on Tycoon, and he gave up like a prick balloon when Fastnet Rock just put the shoulder out and just gave himself room to run on. Look, take nothing away from Fastnet Rock, 57 kilos on his back. I thought it was an outstanding performance. Legally Bay
You know, to see her run in the Newmarket handicap, because I tell you what, weight-wise, she's got to be a genuine chance, and the weights are going to will dictate the outcome of the Newmarket as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the Newmarket
singled out top rater, earlier moment Shinzig and Cargo Cult, 3, 2, 11 and 12. Here's the market. Clearly the favourite is not a singled out. He's $2.40 on the tote. Well, I can tell you he's a singled out.
Stevie, not a single doubt. Does he have to?
Probably get the trail behind the leader, you know.
They're away. Dunes a touch slow, not a single doubt, began well, and so did Shinzig, looking for the lead, and Watcher Back is up there. Heavenly Pun just easing out of it, and then Tirade. E-Consul settled down 2 lengths last. Moment out wide, and a length and a half to E-Consul. Shinzig nearing the 600, a half length clear. In second place in Cargo Cult. Danehill Express posted to third. Then came Dunes on the inside from not a single doubt within 4 lengths of the leader. Next Classiconi, Watcher Back, and Tirade hard ridden, and the rest were headed then by barely a moment. Shinzig had the lead coming around the turn from Cargo Cult. Danehill Express wider out, not a single doubt. Can get a run through as they straighten up now. Shinzig in front, not a single doubt. Under the whip is coming after him now, and then Danehill Express, Cargo Cult, and next is Classiconi. It's with 100 metres to go. Shinzig clinging onto the lead, not a single doubt. Really has to dig in here. Shinzig by 3/4. He'll hold on. Shinzig beat not a single doubt by a half length. Danehill Express third, Classiconi fourth. E-Consul from last was next, and then barely a moment Cargo Cult and Tirade. They were followed by Heavenly Pun. Next to finish, Tantat Secret.
Danehill Express, 11, 3 and 6.
Shinzig and Chris Waller there getting the victory with Steve King. Not a single doubt. Brave was in the race, and 1,400 metres probably looks as far as he wants to go. And I thought, generally, probably not the best Schwepp of Essence Cup I've ever seen, Alf, but not a bad one.
Well, quite frankly, Richard, I've got ages of this particular race as opposed to its last start performance. I thought the effort was very good, and if it maintains that, it's going to be a serious threat in the Guineas. Yes, the second horse, not a single doubt. Look, it got tightened up, held up marginally. It wouldn't have won the race. The winner was too good on the day, but it was going in defeat. Danehill Express, the blinkers on. I didn't know how he'd react to the blinkers, whether he'd over-race or whatever. I tell you what, I'm more than happy to follow him. He will improve and go on.
And I can't work out how a Consul won a Caulfield Guinea, so I still can't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rolled Perfectly Ready has been heavily supported to win tomorrow's $1 million Blue Diamond Stakes at Caulfield. Trainer Mick Price has declared the colt spot on.
Certain to start favourite on the strength of a dominant Prelude performance.
Kingy got off and he said, look, it was a soft win, and I think if he repeats that performance and has a trouble-free run, there's no reason why he's not going to be right in the finish.
Wayne Hawke's hopeful his colt the Rhine can turn the tables, declaring he wouldn't swap him for anything else.
It's going to be a pressure race, and you know, from my point of view, the harder they go, the better it's going to be for us, because we'll be able to hit the line.
But Hawkes has cast doubt over the prospects of second favourite Opportunity, despite Tony Vassell declaring her the best 2-year-old he's trained.
She hasn't had any pressure applied to her, and you know, sometimes these horses, you know, they jump and they lead, and all of a sudden, if they're not brilliant away or they get horses around them taking them on, well, it's a different ball game.
Tomorrow. Now, race 7 at Caulfield, Blue Diamond Stakes, Perfectly Ready, Bradbury's Luck, Opportunity and the Rhine, 3, 1, 12 and 4 for our Sky ratings. So the ratings are with the colt. Now, here's what they're paying. Bradbury's Luck #1 at $6.10. Well in commission here at Caulfield at a similar quote to that. Perfectly Ready #3 is the on-track favourite, so the colt happening on track. This market is pretty much a reflection of what's happening on track. Opportunity's a little bit shorter than the $5.20. It's a terrific lineup. So Gold Coast. This is the second of 2 feature 2-year-old races today. We had the Black Opal Stakes at Canberra earlier, and
Clear Racing. The Rhine jumped well, so did undoubtedly Anne Seidnazar. Tavella away brilliantly, doubting a touch slow. As they settle into stride, Bradbury's Luck had begun fast. Going past 1,000 metres, and Seidnazar from Strikes back out very wide. In third placing, Testa Real from Undoubtedly. Bradbury's Luck through on the inside and Perfectly Ready handy to these. Bellew the outside. One further back is Amrazetti the Rhine. They're trailed then by Red Hot Mama Opportunity a good way back with Doubting Fuzaichi San. They're trailed by Line Account, and then came Street Smart, and Tavella was last. Seidnazar led the Diamond Field around the turn from Testa Real, getting away from the rail. Then Strikes back. Perfectly Ready, handy enough within 3 lengths of them. Then undoubtedly Bradbury's Luck back on the rail from Bellura. And next Opportunity, Saint Nazar led around the turn. Testa Real coming after it. And now Perfectly Ready and undoubtedly are coming with runs. Saint Nazar at the 200, tackled by Testa Real. Undoubtedly and Perfectly Ready. Undoubtedly getting to the lead at the 100 from Saint Nazar. Perfectly Ready can't go on. Undoubtedly is racing away from them. And undoubtedly won it easily. Saint Nazar all Perfectly Ready for the minor placings from Opportunity. Then came Doubting, followed closely Testa Real, and just behind those then was Ambrosetti and Street Smart. Further back then came Bradbury's Luck, the Rhine never came into it, and then Fuseichi San Bellura, followed by Line Account Tavella, Red Hot Mama, and Strikes Back, one of the last in. Number 6, undoubtedly ridden by Dwayne Dunn, has scored a surprisingly easy win in the Amy Blue Diamond Stakes. He just powered away from them from the 200 metre mark and has won in dazzling style. An upset win, $28.30 with $6.70 for the place. Dwayne Dunn blowing a little kiss to the crowd as he crossed the line. The blue
South Australian jockey Dwayne Dunn, as we see Dwayne just going back to the Oakley Plate today, which was of course taken out by Fastnet Rock.
Came Doubting, followed closely Testa.
Great to come through. The horse had shown plenty of ability on the track, and no, he just needed them to help him along. And today he needed them around the corner, but in the straight it was all over. So to win that easy, I was a little bit surprised.
He's just been an outstanding natural horse from day one, and the times he's been running, I just never seen a horse run them, and you know, it's just been pretty exciting.
And obviously,
it's an amazing what a difference blinkers can make, undoubtedly by Redute's Choice, another one. Mark Kavanagh. Dwayne Dunn from Barrier 4 gave him a lovely ride. That was the winning move. Seed Nazar, $31. That's a big effort, and Perfectly Ready. Well, I thought his effort was huge. He went 3 and 4 deep the whole way, and he battled on very, very strongly in the straight. There's more wins in him. There were a few other good runs in the race. Let's talk to those beaten jockeys. Luke Nolan to start with.
terrific effort. The only thing that's probably beat us on the day is we're just drawing an awkward gain. I've had to use him a bit getting across him early. He has crossed him early, but he's probably just went that little bit hard in himself down the side.
So I straightened up. I thought there was a length up my sleeve, but there wasn't. So just going to see how he pulls up and see if they're going to press on or not.
Yeah, very solid performance. What I did, I was sort of probably couldn't do much more really. There were 6 or 7 abreast, and they were just a bit sharp, a lot more pressure today. But the way she hit the line's very encouraging.
She did run on today.
His run was very, very good. I thought Opportunity, extremely good run. There were plenty of other good runs in the race. I know you fancied 1 or 2, Alf.
Oh, I was just a little bit disappointed when Doubting unfortunately missed the start and just struggled to get into its gear. There was some reports going around that the saddle might have just rolled around a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but clearly it was the run of the race forced to get back further than what one would have expected, but nevertheless it still finished off very, very strongly. Opportunity, look, I love this filly. I must, and if she's not an Oaks filly, I tell you what, I do not know what is. Her pedigree suggests that she's going to get a lot further too. Fantastic winner. It was well ridden, well trained, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, there is only one significant gear change in racing, and that is blinkers.
Yeah. And Bradbury's Luck has pulled up Shinsaw this morning, according to Graham Rogerson. That horse dropped out in the...
recently. Big call by Mark Kavanagh to dodge the Magic Millions in Adelaide to attack that Group 1 with that colt and got a fitting result. There was only 3 good runs in the race. Opportunity. I thought there was a lot of merit in Perfectly Ready's performance. 4 deep, no cover chasing. He wasn't entitled to finish his race off, and Doubting, who run home late. But take nothing away from the winner. He's a good colt.
And just